Good evening, everybody. How are you? Let's get saying hello. Spunkfish and on a queue. Indie, Swift and Bold. Good evening. I liked your video the other day. Blatantly harassing. We could talk about that later. It's very, I haven't done a stream in a while, really, because I haven't had anything decent to talk about. But I found now, with the name of the stream, a discussion on the morals of public photography. Where is the line? Is the line drawn on what you can and can't do when you're in public, as long as you are breaking no laws? Do morality come into it? I want to talk about this evening for the reasons on the last video, the boy getting knocked over on the crossing. I personally think that video was tasteful. It wasn't identifying anybody. It wasn't over the person. And when does that become not news? Is it newsworthy? So I just make sure you can all hear me 5x5, because for the last 2 minutes I've just been spouting off to myself. You all can hear me. I also like, I'm going to put up as well what Avon and Somerset police actually think of reporting people filming in public. So I'm going to have a few people on. Indy's got the link. Boomer's got the link. I'll drop the link. If a moderator can drop a link to my Telegram, if anybody wants to call in and have a discussion on public photography and what they think is morally right and wrong, because I didn't identify nobody. And it's like I said, if you're out in public and you see somebody with a camera and you don't want to feature on it, don't make a fuss. Don't come up to the camera. Or if it is you that appears in my video, don't comment on said video, because nobody knows who you are. You're identifying yourself. So this is what Avon and Somerset actually think on public photography. So reporting somebody for public photography in the public place. I got to let me go towards the screen of it because I can't see it. So there is no law preventing people from taking photographs in public. This includes taking photographs of other people's children. If you are taking photographs from a private land, you need to ask the landowner's permission. Taking a photograph of a person when they expect privacy, such as inside their homes or gardens, is likely to cause a breach of the privacy law. Now, I would only say the only real place you've got privacy is inside your actual home with the curtains closed. Using, if somebody's in the garden and somebody inadvertently takes a photograph, that's not really breach of privacy, unless the images which have been taken are indecent, which I completely agree with. Nobody has the right to ask the photographer to stop, ask for a copy of the photographs, or force the photographer to delete the photographs. This is on Avon and Somerset's own website. They've obviously had complaints before. I've been doing this for such a long time. I know what I can and can't do whilst out in public. And I think what I did was morally okay. Let me just get that down and off. We have got Indy behind backstage. Well, what's everyone's views on it? Put a comment in the chat. Personally, if you don't want to be identified, just don't harass somebody with a camera. Good evening, Indy.
Evening, mate. How you doing?
I'm very well. You?
Bit sunburnt, as you can see. Lobster face. But other than that, yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, at the end of the day, I've watched a bit of that video. Now, what gives them the right to approach you and start abusing you the way that they did? You've got a right to defend yourself at the end of the day. You know, the minute you step out your house, most places you're on camera anyway. People have got dash cams, CCTV outside their house. So I don't see what the problem is. As long as you're not filming the children directly, staring, ogling at them, you know, and why should they complain about it? I just don't see why people make such a big stink about it. Do you know what I mean? The minute you leave your house, you're on camera. So why don't they go to the police and argue with them about the toss about and being on CCTV, about all the police officers walking around with body cameras on? The minute you hit any local high street, you're on camera. Like I walk out of my house, I've got 3 cameras that point at my house. So even in your house, you know, you should be having privacy, but you don't because of the council. So
well, you know, we've gone over this subject time and time again. I walk out my front door and I expect to be filmed as soon as I walk out my door because there's no expectation of privacy whilst out in public.
No, there isn't.
And you know what gives me the right to film whilst out in public? That was one of the responses on the video. What gives me the right to film that whilst I'm out in public? Well, we have sort of a constitution, don't you? It's a constitutional right. It's an inalienable right. It's a right that I was born with. Nobody gave me the right to photography. You know, I was born with that right. Anything I can see with my eyes, I can film.
And it's like, you've been to my house, haven't you, Tyrant?
Yeah.
Right. As soon as you walk out of my door, there's a block of flats in front of me, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 CCTV cameras that point one way at my house and down the alleyway. Now, when we walk out of my house and we go down the alleyway to go onto the Kilburn High Road, as soon as you get to the top of that road, you're being filmed. There's a CCTV camera there as well, and it can see all the way down the street you walk down to go to mine into the car park where I live. So, you know, it doesn't matter where you go nowadays. They've got eyes in the sky, they've got eyes on the floor, they've got eyes in, you know, they've got eyes everywhere.
Well, this is it. I'm not worried about personally, you know, being filmed on a daily basis. My image is out there. I've had comments, you know, actually publicly putting my name in the comment. And you all know I don't give a rat's ass. And my name's personally out there. I don't hide the fact for what I do because I think I've got a high moral standard, because it would be a different scenario. The video would have never went to air if the child died, because that's a moral standard. I wouldn't have posted the video because the child died. You know, I made sure I knew the child was okay before it went up, and you couldn't even see it was a child. This is the whole thing. The whole thing is there was a woman there filming, and she was on the same side of the road, actually over the scene, filming the paramedics doing all their shit.
But do you know what makes me laugh?
Hmm.
If you'd have had a BBC badge or an RTV badge, they wouldn't have said jack shit to you.
Well, it's different. It's like I said, does it make a difference in what aspect I'm filming it in also? Okay, because I've seen plenty of people's let me just hold it there. I got Boomer waiting backstage. Let me just bring him in and say hello. We can then obviously touch on the subject of, does it matter what aspect you film it in? Do you film it in portrait, landscape, to whether or not it's going to get a reaction? So, good evening, Mr. Boomer.
G'day all.
How are you?
G'day.
Yeah, good.
So,
well, living in London, there's 691,000 CCTV cameras. That's one camera for every 13 people. Average Londoner gets caught on CCTV 300 times a day.
Yeah, most heavily surveilled city in the world. And mind you, you would think Israel is quite Israel is one of the most heavily surveilled cities with their tech they have. You would think they would outnumber us, but we outnumber, you know, per capita in the world. 1 for every 13 people.
Yep.
Isn't it?
300 times a day.
Mm-hmm. So also, when you're out filming in public, do you think that people will react more if you're filming in portrait or landscape?
Yeah, it should make a difference.
Most people. Well, if you're in portrait, people might be thinking you're just using the phone normally, so they won't see that you're actually doing anything. If you got it in landscape, well, then you're obviously taking a photo or video. Hello?
I'm just reading someone's comment. Although GDPR is strict when it comes to privacy, Section 32 of the Data Protection Act gives the media and art and academics creative freedom to film in public. There you go. But when does it become news? When does it stop becoming news? Is that newsworthy story? Was that newsworthy that, you know, somebody got ran over on, clearly somebody got ran over on a traffic control crossing? So, you know, Bristol.
You see lots of stories like that.
Do you remember the video that I put out not so long ago, where outside the shops where I live, there was a young girl knocked over? Right. I put that out. Nobody come over and bothered me. And I blatantly walked around with the camera, as I do. Nobody bothered to confront me. No people bothered to stop me. There was a few dickhead comments, but you always get them saying, "Oh, there was nothing wrong with the girl," blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, I didn't know that. But I basically put up what I saw, and people were moaning about it. You know, I spoke to 3 or 4 different people. I should have spoke to a few more. Some people told me that she had been rushed into intensive care and stuff like that. And like Tyrant said, if anything had happened to the child, I passed away, I wouldn't have put out the footage. I'd have just got rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I'm pretty much got a high moral standard of what I do film and not film. You know.
Well, you didn't show the kid. You didn't say any names.
No. The only time I would film a person is if they started getting in my face, and I would do that just to annoy them because they've made a fool of themselves. If they don't like it, get away. You know, you can see I've got a camera and I'm filming. You don't want to be on film, go behind me. Don't walk right in front of my camera shot, because then you're leaving yourself open, aren't you?
I had comments calling me a nonce. That was
I've read them, mate. It's disgusting.
Very noncy thing to do. I also had a comment. What was it? The take it down or someone's going to put me across a bonnet. So it's all right for these people to make direct threats towards me. Then, you know, but because I said, allegedly I called the mum stupid. But if you read the comment back, because I don't delete anything, it said, "Your stupid comment." I wasn't calling her stupid. I was calling the comment she was making stupid. Right? I.e. that I identified the child, yet at no time during the video did you see the child, or could you identify who the parent was, yet the mother came on and commented on the video, identified herself, asking me, did I have permission to post the picture, you know, to post that video of the child, you know, and she's there clearly just identified herself. She did that on my video, and she also did it on the news report that Bristol Live thought it was newsworthy enough to publish.
Spunkfish is asking for the link.
Where is it?
I don't personally.
And what about the self-serves at Sainsbury?
Yeah, exactly. They've all got cameras on them. They've all got facial recognition on them as well.
It's I asked her to come back. She said, "What gives me the right? What gives me the right to film in public?" I said, "It's the same right as gives the police or councils to put CCTV up on lampposts." I said, "It's the same right as that." I said, "If I wasn't allowed to do it, they wouldn't be allowed to do it." She said, "Well, they're there to protect us." And I'm like,
well, after the last few years, are you having a laugh? I wouldn't trust them.
They're allowed to do it. I'm allowed to do it. Links in the chat.
Yeah, it just makes me laugh. All the all the crap that people come out with. Oh, you can't film me. Well, yeah, I can. I've got a camera and I'm filming you now. I only do that to people that come up and basically invade my space. If you come within a meter of me and I'm using a camera and you make a big song and dance about, I'm going to film you just to show you up.
Yeah,
that's just the way I am. If you want to make a fool of yourself, I'll make you famous, bigger than you'd ever see. You know, people want to be idiots. That's down to them, but they've got to be ready to pay the repercussions of it. At the end of the day, that's the way I see it.
I just thought, you know, they obviously don't know me. They obviously don't know I'm there for the people. It's like if I were, you know, if I had a local YouTuber that's around that is able to highlight things that's going on in the area, because our mayor don't give a rat shit about the children. You know, don't see anything. Didn't complain about me reposting the local little girl who hasn't got a garden to play with. Haven't got a problem with me posting pictures of that. Haven't got a problem with me supporting and promoting New Fosway School that was broken into last weekend. And New Fosway School is a special school. All right, Spunkfish, I see you, mate. If you want to switch your camera off, you can. If you want to stay on, that's fine, mate. If you want to stay on, yeah, no worries. I'll bring you on now. You know, it's all right for me to promote New Fosway, you know, that it got broke into the special school over the weekend. It's all right for me to do that, you know, but then when it's news relevant that a car possibly didn't see a green light, got injured, is it not newsworthy? I don't know.
Well, yeah, was it in your local newspaper?
Yes.
There you go. Then it was newsworthy. If they're going to print and promote it and put it out there, well, you know, and then so-called mainstream media, you've got to, you know. At the end of the day, you know, all of us guys know that go out filming, there is no expectation of privacy in public. So if you don't want to be filmed, move. A woman once snatched my phone off me for filming. Well, what you should have done was you should have snatched it back and say, if you grab it again, I'm going to have you arrested for assault, because that's what I'd do. Or I'd spray him in the face with farb spray, one of the two.
Well, that little thing that's over my shoulder down there.
Yeah, that lovely little red and black can, yeah.
And here he is, Mr.
I know worse, man. Big respect to Indie Press and Chris with Tyrant Founder UK. Two of my, I'm one of your biggest fans.
I know you are, mate.
Yeah, there you go. You know I am. I don't need to say that. But beyond the work you do, you're straight as dies. There's many people, and let people know this, which a lot of people don't know this, but can I just say it? A lot of people think a lot of the likes, and I can mention names, but I won't, but we know the ones, Tyrant Finder and Indy. We know the names. There's a lot of people that are well known that are bought and paid for. Bought and fucking paid for. Am I right or wrong?
Well, there's a big old debate about that, though, Spunkfish, mate. You know, we can talk about it all night. And like I say now, the thing to do is not talk about them at all. Leave it.
Well, I didn't mention the names.
Yeah, well, no, it's not a case.
We all know the names. We all know the names.
Yeah, a lot of
damage. I didn't mention no names.
Well,
no, but people.
Hey, really.
No, Chris, please. No, please, man. People, see, they're like me. See, I used to believe all this bullshit earlier, and it wasn't until you got woke up by the likes of yourself, following yourself, you know, that I realised that a lot of people that you think are for the cause ain't for the cause. And a lot of people, you know I'm right, Indy, you know I'm right. You know the point I'm trying to make is that a lot of people do not understand that the person that you trust is your enemy.
You are right.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Well, love him, hate him, whatever. Lenin once.
I'm not mentioning no names because we know the names.
Lenin's long dead now, mate. Lenin once.
We know who we're on about, don't we?
The opposition, lead them. And it's, you know, if you want to control the opposition, so control us, you need to lead us. So You know, we all got
I mean,
people
I'm your number one fan, and I'm also Indy's number one fan. You know, like because Indy. Yeah, I'll say as it bloody is, me. Yeah. We always have a laugh. I always have a laugh with Indy. Indy says it as it fucking is, and I don't get bored with shit with swearing, but it's the way I am. Indy's straight as a fucking die, right? I love you to bits. I do love you to bits, Tyrant, Chris. I do love you to bits.
Okay, I'm not.
But you put me on to bloody Indy.
Listen, I think now, Punkfish, if it wasn't the Tyrant, I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing. He is basically, he's the reason why I started my channel. I've many a time.
Yeah. He is. Tyrant's the boss, man. If it weren't for
I wouldn't go, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. He's up there in the elite, though.
The difference is,
fuck off. There you go. You got that right up the elite. Yeah.
Right? It's all these different things popping up. I've
seen you in action.
You know, this protest, that protest, this demonstration, that.
No, fuck off, Tyrant. Indy's right, mate.
Turn up to these things.
Tyrant's right. Indy's right.
You're gonna go.
You deserve what you get, mate. Because you know what, Tyrant, you don't even ask for nothing back. You're just naturally a caring guy, and the same with Indy, and that's why I'm your number one fans. Not because of money, not because of nothing, because you've got good hearts, man. Good hearts, and I'll say it to the world. Indy, 1916, and Tyrant found the UK are my friends, and I follow them for one reason and one reason only, because they're fucking care. They're fucking care, and that's it. Full stop.
I think personally, for my local area, because you know, Hartcliffe, my local area, is very much, you know, left out of Bristol City Council. Mind you, Bristol City ward is the longest held ward for Labour. It's been held over 30 years now. So it's a Labour heartland. You know.
I think the only love of my life come from Nailsea. You know where Nailsea is, don't you?
Nailsea, yeah, just down the road.
Yeah. That's near Bristol, yeah.
Well, can you check the backstage?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I got Brummy's in the backstage.
I know where Nailsea is, mate. And that was my love of my life. Anyway, I don't want to change the subject.
Yeah, change the subject, man. Like, you know, that badge is hurting me, man.
Aston Villa. That bad.
Fuck off, you're Birmingham. I used to live in Birmingham as well. Aston fucking Villa, you cunt. Fucking start me up.
Tyrant, I wanted to jump on to talk about obviously what you were just discussing about obviously recording in public and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I remember a few years back in Birmingham, we had a massive crash on the Aston Expressway.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of the first responders to that accident. And I remember seeing people with their cameras out on their phones, live streaming to Facebook and to other social media, while people had limbs missing, blood was everywhere. Now, if you're talking about morals and all that sort of stuff, surely there's got... I totally get that we're all on camera all the time.
Yeah.
But in situations like that, surely you've got to agree that...
Yeah. I 100%, and honestly, I think I've got a high... You know, I go by, you know, what God gave me when I was born was my moral compass, and what my dad taught me was my standards. Okay, my moral compass would have personally took over. I know roughly what to film and when to film it. My camera wouldn't have been out. I would have been in shock even watching that scene with people with limbs missing. I couldn't do that. You know, there is. I think there is a moral line, but it's news at the end of the day. I don't believe live streaming it. That would have been a no-no. That's why I didn't live stream it. I could have quite easily hit live and you know, you would have seen, everyone would have seen more. But then, I think moral compass and standards. We've all seen bad things in the news that you thought, oh, you know.
No. Could I interject? Could I interject, please, Chris?
Yeah, carry on.
I used to live in Weston-super-Mare, which is roughly near Bristol, isn't it? It's a similar vibe, right? I didn't just live there. I lived there for about 9 years, you know, which is a long time. And I'll tell you what, there is that sort of vibe going on. That sort of vibe, you know, the Bristol vibe, the Western vibe, the Cheddar vibe. And I'll tell you what, and it was good times, mate. And I'll tell you what, I didn't have no violence. There was no I mean, there was violence, but there were, I mean, I was happy. I was an happy chappy when I lived in that area. And even now, I've got friends in who live in Weston-super-Mare and all that. And I know Nailsea, I know Clevedon. I know all them areas because I lived there for years. You know what I mean? We used to go to Cheddar. You remember Cheddar? Who's not been in Cheddar Gorge? You know what I mean?
Well,
you must have been there yourself, Chris.
Your dad's got your dad gets their cider, and then the kids pick strawberries in the summer down Cheddar Way. You know, I can remember doing that as a kid.
Thank you.
On the strawberry line, actually, there's an actual walk called the Strawberry.
I know. And Weston-super-Mare, and the crazy parties on the beach and all that. You know what I mean?
Well, they're actually talking about beaches in Weston-super-Mare, and we all know Weston-super-Mare.
Even now, and we was doing it years ago, Chris.
Oh, they
was doing that years ago. You know what I mean?
Well, they're on about now.
I mean, I live in Ireland now. I've told you that I live in Northern Ireland now, but I'm an English bloke. Well, look at my accent. I travel everywhere, right? But I'll tell you what I really love, and I'll tell you what I really love about. I know it's always quiet, but I love him to bits, and I don't give a fuck what it says. Indie 1916 or.
Right,
I love him to bits. No, I will say it. Right, I know he likes him. I know he's a quiet.
You two want to
I know.
Music, so
on.
And Barry Roy.
No, but I'll tell you what, I love in this 1916. You know, I like 1916 indie because it reminds me of you, Chris. You're both the same. Yeah, you're both the same coin. Other sides of the same coin, and I'm the same as well. Indie 1619 press. I love you to bits.
1619. Right. Let me just get on with what I know. Just let me get on with what Brummy's saying. Like, Brummy, you just asked Chris a question, right? I would be a lot similar, but the thing is, I wouldn't go there to film, but I would film not the people, but the way the respondents are going on, you know, the people, the first people that are there. But I wouldn't film nobody's blood. I wouldn't film bodies. I would just film and show them what the respondents, i.e. the ambulance, the fire brigade, but I wouldn't get any person that was injured in the picture. And if I did, I would blank it out or I would dock it from my vid.
But I remember when that accident happened, one of the paramedics, I remember it going viral on YouTube and Twitter and all that.
I usually do, mate.
She broke down crying because it was her first major incident.
Yeah.
And I remember some of the comments saying, like, she shouldn't be crying at this. This is a job, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then all that, and obviously the trolls on social media as well, she ended up killing herself. So, you know, it's because she was crying on an active live scene because it was, you know, it was a massive thing. And obviously, you know, at that time, there was no...
So, Brummie, what's your name? Brummie, what's your name? Brummie AVFC. Is that your name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, are you for real? Are you for fucking real here? Are you saying that a death of a fucking girl in the past is caused by us having lives and shit like that?
No, he's on about people videoing, and because
people videoing
the trolls in the comments, because you know, you get trolls on everything, don't you?
Mhm.
Of course you do. Yeah.
You know, it's a common way of life, and you get the sick ones, and they're always the soccer accounts with just a picture and, you know, a name and things like that. So yes, I understand it, and then yes, I know exactly where you're coming from, Brummy. It affects somebody, and I feel for that person that actually took her life. It's wrong to actually, when you know there's actually been deaths, right? Physical deaths, then no, I don't think it should be live streamed.
No.
Or anything,
Because,
you know, to
sorry
show.
to interrupt, Chris.
Yeah,
do
go
you think them people did it for likes and spikes, for shits and giggles, for they're trying to boost
the
their
comments or the
their
people
channel?
filming it?
Yeah,
I
because
think
not one of them had their phone in their hand,
yeah.
but not one of them would have rang emergency services. Not one of them would have.
Common fact now, isn't it, Brummy, that people don't ring 999, they hit record. That's a common fact way of life. We're,
Well,
you
I
know,
beg to differ there. I beg to differ there. If you look on my page,
you
there's fire.
hours and play, you know what? It was live streamed from start to finish, and you heard people screaming in the tower blocks, you know, and things like that. That was coming from mainstream media as well. So if we lived in a day and age where we took everybody's feelings into consideration before we put any sort of news out, we would have no news out there, would they? Would we? We wouldn't have nothing, because we're thinking, oh, we're going to hurt somebody's feelings by putting that out, or, you know, this, that, and the other. And we all know that we live in a day and age that if I put a nice video out of pretty little flowers or an actual educational video teaching something,
No one's going to watch it.
they ain't going to watch it. But if I put a video up of someone getting cracked over the head by a truncheon or people really injured, you get thousands. It's all about what people want to see, and it's how society now has made us. We live in a day and age that we shouldn't be afraid of seeing somebody filming. It is a natural reaction now for anybody. It's like you said, not to ring 999, is to hit record on their camera. It's natural human instinct now. It's inbuilt into you. And it's been inbuilt into people since the late 90s, since technology became freely available to the masses, and we started giving children technology.
Yeah, you're going on about people who rather pick up their phone and start filming. Well, there was a fire the other day on the Kilburn High Road, right? I was one of the first people there. I didn't even think about getting my phone out and filming until the fire brigade arrived, and it was me that rang the fire brigade. So basically, I'll tell you what happened. There's a estate agents around the corner from where I live, and some dozy twat had decided to pile loads of cardboard up outside the back of it. And it was one of the hottest days, and some idiot upstairs opened a window. And of course, the sun's come off the window, it's hit the window, and it's hit the cardboard boxes and set them on fire. Well, this thing was ablaze. I put a video up about it. You were right. Nobody bothered to ring the fire brigade other than me and the people that own the estate agents, because everyone was there with their cameras out filming. And I'm like, well, you know, why couldn't you just pick up the phone and ring the fire brigade? But people are liking it. They'd rather do drama and stuff.
I know. When you're there on your fucking own, like, you think, well, I'm out here on my own.
I'm always on my own, mate. That's what
Because also, indeed, them people that
common sense doesn't dictate, does it? You know what I mean?
Them people that have got the phone out and they're recording are the same people that moan that emergency services don't attend it, because
well, I'll make you laugh. The fire brigade were very fast to respond. I phoned them and they were there within 3 minutes, and I timed it.
Surely,
3 minutes, so they were in the area.
Surely, I filmed. It wasn't a car accident; it was a car fire the other day. Don't know what relevance that is, mind you, but I'm just answering your comment. Sorry,
anyway,
Chris,
can I just say something now?
A good
Chris,
comment.
Chris, can you hear me? Chris, can you hear me, Chris?
Yes, mate.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go off now because, I don't feel very well. I've had this COVID and all that. But I'm on your panel and I'm going to leave now. I'm going to say big respect to you. big respect to Indy. He knows anyway. He knows other women to bits. Big respect to who else is on the channel?
You've got Boomer and you've got Brummy.
Brummy. Oh yeah, Brummy. Yes. Sorry, Brummy. Big respect, Brummy. Have a good evening. And then Boomer. I'm off now. And I'll be in the chat. Yeah. I'll be in the chat. Yeah. Big love.
See you later. That's mate.
100%,
man. 100%. Thank God I'll find it.
He'll find it. That's the reason why you love Spunkfish, mate. He's so fucking funny when
he's speaking to himself now. I've just put him backstage because he obviously can't find the off button.
Chris, Angela asked a good question in the comments. If a person was dying in a car, would you film it if they asked you to because they were dying?
If they were given their last will and they wanted me to, see, I don't know, because you have to remember, right? I might be there filming, but it does affect me as well because I do have morals and standards. I do have feelings as well. You know, I at one point before I even started to film, and mind you, I was literally arrived at the scene a minute, 2 minutes after it happened, and the boys on the ground screaming, and the paramedics just arrived as I arrived. So I made sure I was nowhere near when I started filming, and he certainly wasn't crying on the floor when my camera was filming. He was well being treated, and my camera wasn't fixated on them, because if you notice, my camera's only, you can't make out the person on the floor. You certainly can't make out anybody that's dealing with him. It's at a respectful distance. And mind you, there's other people there. There was a female there that was actually filming over paramedics. That to me is interfering with the scene. Now, would it have been different if I had a £30,000 BBC camera and I had people, other news correspondents with me? Would that have been different then? Would I have been greeted with the same response? And mind you, that they would have, I don't know, they probably wouldn't have put as much as I did. And mind you, mine was only split seconds.
Yeah, but what you've got to remember is, Tyrant, if you've got a big press badge, you know, BBC, ITV, they're going to leave you to it because you're part of it. We're independent. We haven't got press passes, and they don't like to see us trying to make a way for ourselves in the world of the social media. They think that we're, what's the word? Basically taking the piss, and we're not. We're there to basically film what the mainstream media are missing. You know, they don't put out, like, we've known over the last 2 years, all they've done is given us crap, rubbish to listen to, right? The last 2 years, there has been not really much truth in what the mainstream media have put out, and it's been down to people like me and you to tell the people the truth. At the end of the day, you know, we all know the mainstream media chat bare crap. They're still doing it now.
There's a question from Shirley to Tyrant.
Yeah.
What, that one?
Yep.
Yes.
What I would do, Shirley, is if they haven't identified my child, if they haven't shown my child in any sort of way, I wouldn't have commented at all. I would have just passed it off as news, okay, regardless of how bad it is, because I know how, you know, you think it's morally, but if we went on everybody's feelings, we wouldn't see news. So you know, and I wouldn't have made sure they wouldn't have identified, and I wouldn't have commented on. I wouldn't have actually commented to identify the child, because the child. The mum identified the child. I then went on to mum's profile in Facebook because I wanted to make sure the child was okay, and seeing that mum is posting the pictures of his broken leg on an open profile. Right? Open profile. So it's, you know what I mean? I haven't identified the child in any way, shape, or form. If I did, then yeah, of course. Of course. But I haven't. And if that was my child, I wouldn't have said nothing at all. Because I'm teaching my child that do not be scared of a camera. Because a camera may save your life one day.
And do you know what you just said there? I had to tell him the same thing to my son, Gerard. He went to Dunstable. He got a good kicking off of 12 lads. And he was like, oh, but there was no CCTV. I goes, I guarantee you there was. I goes, you just can't see it. I goes, you've got to look in the shop windows and stuff because they hide cameras in weird places. So when people do stuff, they can actually catch them doing it. Most of these CCTV in the streets are actually deterrents to stop people from doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if that goes down, they've got a backup camera, which is in the shop over there, which is basically pointing exactly the same angle as the camera out there, except it doesn't pan 180 or whatever it wants to do. It stays in a fixed position, but it's got a fisheye lens so it can see the full spectrum of what you're looking at. And yeah, the police managed to pull the CCTV footage. Nothing's happened yet, but we'll see. But yeah, it could save your life one day. You know what I mean?
You know, like somebody said earlier on in the chat, someone says here, you can film anything your eyes can see. You're 100% right. You know,
yep,
you're 100% right there. Somebody said earlier on in the comments that, I can't remember now. I'm going to have a look at it. I did have it on, you know, it's gone off the top. Let me find it. I could, you know, filming could help solve an incident, and lots of my footage has been used to solve incidents. You know, because most of my footage is live streamed. You know, when I use my moral compass, so I'm not going to justify my actions anymore on the subject of if anyone thinks is right or wrong on what I did. People want to talk about the law of what gives me the right to do that, then that's a different subject. We can talk about that. But it's all down to moral compass at the end of the day, isn't it?
Exactly that.
Well, the surveillance is going to get worse anyway.
Well, this is it. We all know that.
We're already in a Big Brother state anyway. We're filmed, you know, we can go into the toilet. We're probably being filmed from a two-way mirror inside the attendant's cubicle. You just don't know. And there are toilets in, there are cameras in the toilets in Leicester Square as you go down the stairs. So you don't really, they see who's coming and going and what they're up to. Do you know what I mean? They know who the druggies are. They know who the junkies are. They know who the people that are drinking down there are. So they know. He was doing this. Years ago when
oh God. See, don't moderators or anyone, don't block anybody unless they're being specifically nasty towards people, and we all know what sort of comments is that like that. Let's let him go on there because Shirley's now commenting that I got my missus onto her. Oh.
All I'm going to say is snowflakes.
Do you know what though? I really do hope that somebody. So they have reported me to the police because I know exactly what Avon and Somerset will tell.
Laugh. They know who you are anyway.
Well, yeah, we know him. We know him.
And do you know what they'll say?
Very respectful.
Did these people actually watch the whole video?
No, clearly not. Clearly not. Because what happened is Mum's gone on there. Mum's seen it. Then Mum's messaged all her friends. So obviously this Shirley Forster or whatever, and whoever's been commenting throughout the day on the video, you know, freely identifying who the child is now clearly commenting here, hasn't watched the old video, only listened to Mum's comments and things like that. you know, and they probably haven't gone through any of my other previous videos and seen what my channel is all about. And in fact, I'm local to the community and I could actually do a lot of good for my local community because Marvin Rees knows exactly who I am. The mayor of Bristol does, because I'm the one who's highlighting all the shit in the city. But people within the area has only just really heard about Tyrant Find the UKs because I've been concentrating on other things.
Yep.
You saw me block the paramedics when they were trying to get through the gate. Okay. Do you ever know what camera's perspective means? What camera's perspective means, right? Whereby I was on what they call ×1 zoom. So in fact, whereby it looked like I was stood right in front of the gate, which I wasn't. The gate was about 3 foot away from me, but the camera makes it look a little bit closer because it was on ×1 zoom. Now, if I would have went into fisheye, then you would have seen how far I was away from the gate. And if I was actually blocking the gate, paramedics wouldn't have actually got through with it. And the paramedics would have went, "Excuse me, sir, can you step out of the way?" So come on, at least.
You need to go to Specsavers, love, and get your eyes tested.
You didn't even move them.
Now, I know Tyrant Finder well enough to know that he would not block a fucking ambulance if it was going to an incident.
I didn't even move. When it came through the gate, if I was blocking it, I would have had to have moved, and I didn't even move, did I? So obviously I wasn't.
So I suggest you go and brush your teeth and wipe the crap off your lip. That's all I'm going to say about the matter. Yeah, watch it again. There you go. Batman's giving you some advice.
See, these people just watch what they want to watch, don't they?
No, they listen. They want to listen, right?
They see what they want to see.
They see what they want to see, and they've listened to what Mum said.
All the bullshit comments in the video. I wouldn't surprise me if that was
I haven't commented here tonight on how the accident actually happened, because everyone's got a right to an opinion, right? Yep. But I don't. I let the police accident investigators and people like that to see how the accident occurred. Right? That's not for me to speculate. I only repeated at the time what somebody told me. And I've heard lots of things since, because we got to remember, I'm local to the area, so I hear what my children heard at school, all those sort of things as well. But I haven't put nothing out. Because at the end of the day, that's hearsay. Okay? Can't help there but what people are saying on the street at the time and what the microphone picks up. That's not my concern. Because you also try to make out that somebody said the child's name on the video when they were talking to the police. Now, I listened to the video back, what was uploaded to YouTube. But then I also put it back into my editor so I could enhance the audio to see if at any time was a child name mentioned. And you even lied about that. You even lied that a child name was mentioned when no child's name was mentioned at all. For those few seconds could have cost a life. Surely, again, watch the video and show me, did my feet move when they came through the gate? You are making yourself look very stupid.
Because all the people here have watched that video. So you're just chatting breeze at the end of the day. So like I said, go and wipe the shit off your lip and go and get your eyes tested and then come back when you've got some validated evidence.
And mind you as well, now, the police are not going to investigate any online arguments as hate crimes. They're not investigating them no more.
About time.
Right, that's been actually put out from some police thing or other federation. They're not investigating online arguments.
Oh, that's all right. And that gives me even more reason to smack people in the head.
Then saying on here, Tyrant can be more aggressive. He always backs down, but it depends on different scenarios. Yeah, you're right. Because most of the time, I wouldn't say boo to a goose, and I feel intimidated.
Where me, I'm a different.
I've only seen you like get stand your ground with the police anyway. That's about it.
Yeah, I only ever stand my ground with the police. But like I always say, behavior breeds behavior. If you're coming over to me and shouting the odds and telling me what I can and can't do, then you're fair game in my eyes. So I'm going to start having a go at you. All right. If she would have came over, everyone knew what I was filming. Just don't. Because if you notice, my camera didn't go onto any of those parents talking at the crossing until she approached me to have a go. And then my camera went straight on them all because they were all making off at me.
What did I say to you? That would be the only time that I'd start filming them, when they started being abusive and nasty, because I'd make them famous. I'd make them look the biggest twat ever. And that's the reason why I would do it. If they come up to my face and start, I'd be like, well, you've just made yourself a target for my camera. Enjoy. Now you can rant away all you like. And that's exactly what I'd have done.
And not being funny.
You want to make a fool of yourself? Well, I'll make you famous.
Like Bianca said in the comments, you know, that if your child's been run over, surely your priority is the welfare of your child, not the 10,000 people that are recording and the one guy that's got a camera. Like, my would be literally over the paramedics going, are you doing everything for my child? You know, how is my child? What hospital is my child going to? Do I need to get loved ones to the hospital? Not coming up to someone with a camera going, why are you recording, you stupid people? Like,
who's 5'5" and 6 stone?
Me.
About a black hole.
Shirley, do you know what? You're the type of people that make me ashamed to actually serve my country for people like you. Wow. Disgusting.
But do you know what? I reckon this Shirley shithouse, she actually knows the people.
Of course she does, because she's never been in here before. Never.
Exactly.
Never.
That's what I'm saying. I hope someone slaps some sense into you in the next few days, Shirley. You well deserve it. The UK is the most heavy surveillance CCTV operator. Clive, it comes with a territory, mate. Once you become a YouTuber, you get all sorts of crap thrown at you. It's great. You've got to be a bit thick-skinned and learn to laugh at people like that.
Let's go check her out. Go-to channel.
I guarantee you she's got no subscribers. She's not got any footage, and it's just an account that's been set up in the last week.
6th of July this year. So, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Says it all, really. Troll account.
Ian, they do.
It's a sock account of somebody, clearly. I just checked it. I think some of them do. Brummy, you want to answer that?
Yeah, they definitely do. Especially West Midlands. I know they 100% do, because of the incident where two paramedics came to his address.
And in London as well.
And he stabbed them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Midlands paramedics are always on the frontline paramedic in it. The TV shows all the time. And
also, what you say to them can actually be used as evidence.
Yeah.
So
it's like everything. Every camera can. Look, people's got a misconception about covert and overt photography, whereby people are saying that covert photography cannot be used in evidence. It most certainly can.
Yeah. How do you think police get that's covert? They watch you from a window that you don't know they're there. That's covert. They're recording you.
Yeah. Like in my new job, working within mental health, I have a camera within my badge where I can just press a button and it records.
Yeah.
And, you know, that gets uploaded to the cloud, and then I can go and get that.
Even the people on the boats on the Thames today, when I went from Westminster to Greenwich, they had body cameras on as well.
To me, it's not a strange thing. It's not a strange thing to me to see somebody wearing a body camera. Anybody. No. You know, but
it's going to be everyone's attire soon.
If you wear a uniform, paramedic, security guard, police officer, fireman, you know, this is what, the whole, I think the establishment is trying to get people to think that normal people just can't film in public.
But you see me when I go out, Tyrant. Do I wear a body camera?
Yes.
Yeah, I wear body camera. Even when, do you know what? I wear it to the shop sometimes, and I wear my sheeple people t-shirt, and I use it to trigger people. And that's what I do. I wear a lot of my badges, a lot of boomers badges, a few Tyrant finders on my baseball cap, and I'll purposely go out to trigger people. See what their response is.
CDF. He's right. He's been a photographer for 25 years. There's no, unfortunately, in journalism and photography, there's no morals. You just take the picture and video. It's up to the publisher to decide what gets published. But in the age of social media, it comes down to the individual. You are 100% right. It comes down to your moral compass and standards, doesn't it?
It's like, if someone come up to me and said, please don't film me, I wouldn't do it. But if they come up to me and they were nasty about it, yeah, I'd stick the camera right in their face and go, say that again, please. Smile, you've got 100 people watching you, just to be an arse. If you're going to come over and be violent and aggressive, you're going to get filmed, didn't you? But if you come over and you're like, excuse me, do you kindly not mind filming me? I'll be like, yeah, fair enough. And I've had people that come up to me all the time and say that, please don't film me. And all right, fair enough, I won't. Do you remember that night we were in Bristol?
Yeah.
The group of lasses that come up to us, and I was like, filming you? I've got better things to do than fucking film you. And they were like, oh, that person back there said you were filming me. I went, I'm on a live stream. I goes, my camera was pointed the other way. Go away.
Yeah, but saying that if you had that right, and you weren't filming, and you walked past, and then she came chasing you up the road and saying, "You just touched me up when you came past." Sorry, camera says differently. You know, we're living in that such a day and age. Well, to me, it's not strange to see a body camera, or if I see anybody filming walking along the street. It's not strange anymore.
You go to protests and there's people there that purposely wear body cameras, and they're not like YouTubers or anything like that, to capture the evidence they need to get these police arrested for doing what they do. And I know quite a few people that go to the protests and they wear a body camera for that purpose, not to upload it onto social media, but to catch the police out. And sometimes, wearing one of them, that could actually save your life, because if the police decide to jump you and beat the shit out of you, all right, fair enough, they might smash up your video camera. But at the end of the day, you've still got the evidence on that memory card. And as long as you keep that and they can't get hold of it, you're fine.
Someone want to chuck the address in the chat for Baytown CDF. He wants to jump on.
Yep.
All right, listen, I'm going to jump off. I've got to do something, Tyrant. I've got to go and see a man about a dog, but I will be back.
All right, dude.
Shortly.
All
right, cool. See you in a minute. All right, guys, thanks for having me back. Sorry.
It's the whole, what's right, what's wrong, it's like I keep saying, it's like every right you've got, isn't it? If you don't use them, you're going to eventually lose them, isn't it? People are going to forget about what rights they actually do have. It's like a muscle. You got to flex them and use them. People are saying, well, you might be able to do these things. It doesn't mean you should do these things. But then what's the point in being able to do it if you don't do it anyway? It's just bizarre to me. Bizarre. But Baytown, the link is there if you want to jump on. I think I posted the link. Yeah, StreamYard. Yeah, up there.
Or anybody else wants to jump on.
Yeah, if anybody else.
Tyrant, I've just put a comment that was few while ago from Photo Poor in the backstage chat.
Ah, right, okay. Oh yeah, you put you put right, okay. I'll put it from me.
That is so true. Like, and didn't that request also help with their investigation? So I totally get that it's sometimes okay, and like you say, it's that moral ground, isn't it? It's that understanding.
Yeah, I see you, mate. If you wanna switch your camera off, you can, dude. I know you are anyway. Do you want to stay on camera? Give us a thumbs up if you do. Yep, all good. This is Baytown. He's been on before, not for a while. He's been a long-term photographer, so he knows what it's all about. Hiya, Baytown, mate.
Hey, mate, I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, I've been, like I keep saying, it's like I don't go to protests no more. So, it's only things that happen around here, and it's, we're not locked up anymore. There's people should just enjoy themselves, shouldn't they?
Let me just adjust this. I'm trying to work out my fucking lighting. Let's do this. Let's get this a bit brighter. Is that too bright? Yeah, I think.
We can see you just a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Brevy, how you doing, mate? I've never spoken to you before.
Oh no, mate. How are we?
Yeah, cool. I saw you from day one when you were having a little bit of problems and stuff like that. When you were, doing all that kind of fucking shit. Yeah.
Seems so long ago now, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
And you know what? Every day, I think, was it worth it? Was it worth leaving the job? Was it worth, fighting? Because where are we? Like, it's all been brushed under the carpet and disappeared, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I hope you're in a good place now.
I am. I'm in a lot better place. Really am.
Cool. Boomers, how you doing, man?
Yeah, good, thanks. You?
Yeah. I've not spoken to you before.
Bristol never used to be a dump. It's turning into a dump. Sorry, guys.
So, Baytown, are you a journalist like by trade, or are you like an independent journalist like Tyrant and Indie?
Excuse me. No, I used to work for. Well, I was independent around about 1990s, and then I joined. Do you know a company called Reach PLC?
I don't know.
Okay, so they own a lot of newspapers like the Mirror and stuff like that. I used to work for a company called Wales Online or Media Wales. You can call it all different stuff. But I've been a journalist there for about 20 years. And Tyrant, the title of your video is about the morals of photography. It's a really difficult subject.
Because I
really
think,
difficult.
What about a war correspondent? And when you're taking photos or film with people like blown up or wounded and all those sort of things as well.
Well, this is it. Yeah.
Well, look at the Manchester bombing, wasn't it? When they did the documentary, they wasn't scared to release the videos from people's phones.
Look at Patrick Lancaster on YouTube. He's the war correspondent in the Ukraine with the DPL, Donetsk Republican. Is it DPL? DPR. So he's following the Russians, and the stuff that he's been portraying, and YouTube is still leaving it up. They're not taking it down, and some of those are crispy bodies and things like that. Some of you wouldn't see on the BBC, but it's what's people crave that now, which is it right? Is it wrong? You can post like I said, an educational video, which is full of facts, educational, and will actually teach you something, but you won't get anybody watching it. You can post someone being blown to bits, title it correctly, give it a fancy thumbnail, and you can have millions of views. Look at all the TikTokers now. Look at all the TikTok accounts. Everyone that was auditing communities moved over to TikTok. And they've now got like 130, 140,000 followers on TikTok because they're posting videos of police abuse or something happening. Is it a construct of society, what they're turning everyone into, that they want to see blood, or what? It's Yeah, it's
So before you said that, Tyrant, I was just going to ask the panel and everyone in chat to answer this one question, which is, if the thumbnail of one of Tyrant's videos was literally, oh, we went to the park, we had a lovely day, and we were just doing a vlog, or there was a picture of someone being absolutely pelted by police with a baton. So one for the family, video that to get to know you as a person, or two for the police battering the shit out of someone. Which one would people watch?
Well, it's the police
The
one. isn't
police
it?
one. Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You can see that
Because,
in the protests.
yeah.
As
Well,
soon as there's police violence, the views go up rapidly.
well, this is
Yeah.
it. Well, you look at the
Every-
Bristol riots, wasn't it? When I was live streaming the Bristol riots, nobody was complaining when I was actually there. Filming it all. All the backlash has come since because I was filming it all. I had 3,000 people watching me. I had, famous people restreaming my stream. It's what people want to see, isn't it?
Everyone loves the drama, don't they?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I go on. I'm not going to go too far away from the subject of your talk.
Oh, you can, mate. You can digress. We've been going backwards and forwards from the subject anyway.
Okay. So I go on auditors.
Yeah.
And boy, the drama in there is incredible. It's like next level drama, and you're like, too much. But then to bring it back to photography, it's kind of strange because I've filmed and I've photographed a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
But I think I put in my post before I came on here, it's not up to me to decide what I photograph or not.
Yeah.
I photographed a lot of awful things, but they would, back in the day, they would never get posted.
No.
They would never get published. But you just photograph them because you're there. Yeah. But I feel that there's a change in the air, which is individuals going out and photographing, but they have no moral compass. Yeah. So they'll post it. They'll just photograph it and post it without knowing that there are certain moral standards or even legal standards that they shouldn't cross. What do you think about that?
There is legal standards, yes, whereby they can't, you can't clearly identify the child or identify anybody really in your news article without their permission. And mind you, I've had Bristol Light one night watch a live feed like this, a debate show like this, when I was being taken to court for all the COVID fines that I received. Bristol Live, only ever they actually used a picture of me, used my name, publicized it, and said, "Oh, this man's up in court. He was doing a live stream begging for donations for his legal fees." And mind you, I represented myself on that case. Nobody gave me legal fees, right? And they didn't come to me and approach me, but because it was in the public domain, yeah, the Bristol Light could do that, whereby morally they should have come to me. Look, we're going to do this story on you. Do you want a right to reply? Because everybody has a right to reply. Okay, in any sort of journalism, you have to have a right to reply. So nobody came to me and asked me, what do I got to say about it? And subsequently, they'd never done a follow-up story to what the outcome was, i.e., did I win? Did I get prosecuted? I won all the cases. I got all my cases dropped, and I got an absolute discharge where mainly all the others that didn't fight it through the courts, whereby in 10 years' time, the government can turn around and go, you know what? Everyone that was imposed those COVID fines, we want that money because this country is in such a desperate state. So all those fines that we put on hold, because if you read the letter states, anyone that was fined and subsequently dropped, it was only put on hold. And if the government or anybody finds evidence that you did commit it at a later date, they could bring it against you. Whereby my fines, they can't, because I have had an absolute discharge, whereby I got the judge to say, he did nothing wrong, you give him money now. That's, you know, that's the whole, you know, the difference is I don't really
So, hey, sorry, I've got to take a phone call. We'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. If you two can talk amongst yourselves for 1 minute, my good lady wants me, so I will be back in 1 minute. So keep everyone entertained, guys.
Sure,
We'll try. But no,
So,
it's
bro-
like, sorry, no, it's like with that. That sounds like to me that news outlet was just trying to expand their viewing, because
their agenda,
they didn't give the opportunity to actually talk to Tyrant.
Yeah.
They didn't give him the opportunity to actually put his point across. They didn't. It was all about Tyrant being big at the time, and they thought, oh, I know what we'll do. We'll get a slice of that cake, because if we put Tyrant in the name, people might watch it, which I disagree. I think, and I know you probably agree, with journalists, it's dog eat dog world, it's every man for themselves, because we've seen it, haven't we, with mainstream, you know, mainstream media will take one picture somewhere and then another outlet would take another picture, and they're all fighting to get the best picture, you know, and it's, I don't know, like.
Yeah, they do. And you're fighting to get the best picture, but where it stops is that I'm allowed to take pictures. I'm sticking on the photography thing and whether you can take pictures in public. Well, of course you can take pictures in public. That's obvious. But I'm sticking with that. But the block comes when you publish those photographs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's up to the newspaper or publication to publish those. I can take as many photographs as I like. Yeah. But it doesn't mean to say that they're going to get published. Right. What I'm trying to say is that the block comes when the publisher actually decides whether to publish your pictures. Now, I've taken pictures of a lot of good stuff. I've taken a lot of pictures of a lot of bad stuff. I've taken pictures of car crashes and all. And I've never been held back. I've taken pictures of people who have had, and I'm sorry to say this, guys, but their heads cut off by trains. And I've seen the head on one fucking side of the tracks and the body on the other side of the tracks, but it would never get published. That would never ever get published. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But doesn't mean to say you can't take a picture of it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So at the end of the day, it comes down to in controlled media, they know what to publish and what not to publish. But in the social media, rather than controlled media, in the social media, it's a fucking free-for-all. Yeah. And so you can publish anything you want, right? But people have to remember that you're still publishing. Yeah. And there's a problem in that.
So as someone that does it for a job, and you know, like
I don't
you
do it
work in.
anymore. No.
Oh, you
But,
don't?
yeah.
Well, used to do it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it annoys you the fact now everyone's got a camera, everyone's got a smartphone? It sort of pushes out that controlled media and then gives you the power more to social media?
No, not at all. Not at all, because the only thing that used to get on my tits is that if someone crossed in your view, in your camera, and you would tell people to fuck off, get out my fucking, get away, you know, that was the only thing that used to piss you off when you did that. But no, I have got no problem with that. But after 25 years of being a professional photographer, it does piss you off a little bit by amateurs coming in, amateurs in inverted commas, because the thing is, I was an amateur before. I was an amateur when I first started. So I can't really blame amateurs because they're probably going to be better than me. But I was quite a big fish in a very small pond. Put me in the whole of UK, I'm a tiny fish. But put me in Wales, I was one of the top 5.
Because the other thing that I'd like to ask you is, obviously you said that you had that picture of the body in one side of the track and the head in the other.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
someone that wasn't associated with controlled media could publish that, and there's nothing anyone could do apart from that person's moral grounds, if you like. So doesn't that annoy you, piss you off, that the fact that they can, and they're going to get all the likes and all the spikes and all the traffic, then yourself that can't, because your environment was controlled and it was like, no, that's too gruesome. We're not putting that up, or you know, that no, we can't do that. But then Joe Blogs can pull it up and no one bats an eyelid. And you know, I think that's where it needs to. I think anything that's posted on social media should also face that controlled media aspect of things, because to an extent, you know, and it should be policed better, because
I don't think that it should be controlled. I think everyone's got the right to be able to do anything they want, but I think that people ought to realize, and Dan Tinney, no, I'm not a lefty, far from it.
I could vouch for Babe. He's not. He's got, you know. I've been called a lefty because of like the moral compass and moral standards I've got. You know, some of the views I've got. So
it's quite laughable, actually.
but you know,
weren't the photo journalist taking photos of Di when she was dying in the car?
Sorry, say that again, Boomer.
Weren't the photojournalists in France taking photos of Princess Di, while she was dying in the car?
Yeah.
Yes, as far as I know, they
and
were.
it was the newspapers that didn't publish them, but they. Is that right? Or did they publish them? I can't remember.
I think. Don't quote me on this, but I think there were one or two photos published.
I don't think any of the English,
but not on mainstream. No.
Yeah,
not
I
on
think
mainstream.
French are forever doing things like that, aren't they? They posted a few.
But this is the thing. This is the precursor to social media.
Yeah.
You know, what was that? 1990s. I can't remember the date.
98.
Yeah, I've been there as well. I've been to the site like 5 years after she died. But that's the thing. It's the precursor to what's going on in social media now. And people have to realize that it is going to bite them in their ass. Yeah. If you publish shit, because if you're a social media guy, yeah, or girl, you think that you're immune to publishing laws. But the thing is, you're actually publishing this shit, yeah? And you're treading a very, very thin line there, you know? But, you know, it's... what was the...
especially if the new online harms bill goes live.
Oh,
absolutely. And this is probably the reason why they're doing this shit. You know? I'm so... Brummy, what the question before? I can't remember what the question before was.
No, I think it was the annoyance, weren't it? Have we answered that one?
Yeah, no, I think we did that, but
Yeah.
trying to
I've
think.
got another question then for you while we think,
Sure.
if anyone in the comments can think of what I asked. Regarding Tyrant's video, regarding the child that had the accident and all that sort of stuff, would you say, as someone who's from the controlled media, he did nothing wrong in that video and there was nothing that controlled media would not have published? And you don't have to answer, obviously, because, you know, it's Tyrant's channel and that sort of stuff. But it'd be nice to actually, because then the trolls would then be able to be shut up and say, well, nothing in that video was offensive, was wrong, and would have been published by controlled media and not social media.
Okay, I haven't seen that. Tyrant, is it worth you putting up on screen so that we can watch it? Or maybe you don't want to. I think you muted.
Turn my mic back on there. Look, it's we could talk about it and people can go and search for it. I'm not going to replay and over and rehash it, because at the end of the day, it's, you know, today's news is tomorrow's fish and chip paper. And mind you, this incident's happened over a week ago, and it's only had 2,000 views on YouTube, you know, and nobody's commented on it until today. So it's like I said, don't make an issue of it. Nobody was commenting on the video anyway, because I look at the statistics every single day. My channel isn't being viewed anyway, really, because I'm not putting out the confrontational stuff anymore that the people want to see all the time. It clearly shows. You look at my stats, they are crap. You know, whereby I had the mainstream media worrying about my YouTube channel of how much I was commanding, whereby it was at the height of lockdown when we had the Million Mass March in 2020, I was putting more live views on my live feed than mainstream media was put together. And I was getting more on my lives than the likes of Rutley, The Sun, the Daily Mirror, all those ones that have YouTube channels. I was getting more live views than them. And they were clearly worried about us. They were. And in fact, I was having the mainstream media using my live feed at the time is because it was better quality than their guys on the ground. Because at that time, they didn't have, especially the Bristol riots, the College Green one, they used my live footage straight into the studio on a news report because it was 1080p. It was broadcast worthy because it was I was using broadcast quality equipment. You know, something that can be shown on mainstream. And they used my live footage there and then. So, you know, sometimes I class myself as a citizen journalist. Whereby I agree with you what you're saying regarding the publishing laws or what I can publish and get away with is should be held in the same standard as the mainstream media. But then isn't that taking a fundamental right, a freedom of expression, regardless of whatever people's feelings are? But I always gauge myself with my moral compass. I don't, you know. It's like I said, the video would have never went up if somebody would have died. I wouldn't have put it up.
Yeah,
You know.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Just because you've got an NUJ card doesn't mean to say that you're you're above anybody else or you're exempt from scrutiny. You know, I've got an NUJ card. Can I show you? I'll show you it. Hold on. Where is it? Where's my NUJ card? Let me fucking find it. It's an old fucker. It's all taped up. Can I show you that? Look.
Yeah. NUJ, National Union of Journalists.
Oh, am I showing my things? That's my NUJ card. But it doesn't matter because it's gone further than that now because you've got citizen journalists.
Yeah.
And citizen journalists are doing a lot more. They're doing a lot more than regular fucking pieces of shit that I used to work for.
Mm.
And I only came awake. First of all, I came awake in a couple of years after 9/11, right? But I wasn't fully awake. I came fully awake around about March 21. No, March 20. Okay.
Yeah.
When they downgraded the CV to a normal flu.
A non-HCID.
It wasn't a non-consequential disease or whatever it was. That's when I became fully awake. And I thought, I was one of the first people in my town, in my city, to be wearing a mask. I was like, fucking hell, gotta put a mask on, And then I realized pretty soon, about less than a month later, this is bullshit. Yeah. I'm not going to take it down that road, but that's when I became fully awake. And I'm like, well, you got to think to yourself, are you fully awake or are you living in a different matrix? You know, you've got to work that. You got to try and think about that, you know, and it's like, fuck, nobody knows.
Well, people seem to believe, obviously, everything the mainstream media put out, you know, first it was, you know, back at the beginning, that, and then the war. Now it's, you know, it's climate emergency, cost of living crisis. But we'll take an example today out of the blue. Now, we all know at the beginning of the month there was a fuel protest, wasn't there, that blocked the Prince of Wales Bridge in Wales, blocked the M5, blocked the M32, and it caused quite a lot of havoc at the beginning of the month, which was quite widely publicised in all mainstream media. Now, today, allegedly, something popped up on my newsfeed from the local Bristol Live. We've all got our local, like, Bristol Live, Wales Live, this, that, and the other. It's all the same shit, really. Heavily advertised, regurgitating shit. They published last night that there was going to be another fuel protest today, blockading down from Bridgewater up to Bristol, down the M5, and then on to the M32, M4, and all that. Now, there was a guy today from Bristol Live on top of the bridge in Avonmouth, filming the protest. And all I seen coming up the motorway was the police blockading normal flowing traffic. There was no people involved in the protest. There's nothing on the normal Telegram pages for people that were organising these fuel protests, because you would find it on Telegram. And today, because today was the first day, majority of schools broke up today, and this is the first Friday of the summer holidays, so you would expect a higher traffic flow because people are getting away to the coast. It's nice weather, so you would expect more traffic. So what they've done is they created a protest today, a fuel protest, because there's nothing. They haven't got no live feeds or pictures of the actual cars or people with banners protesting. And they blamed it today on all the congestion on the fuel protest. But it's a normal Friday of the summer holidays.
Yeah.
No,
So
look
they-
what they've done to the weather maps.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Couple of years ago, they were like
Yeah.
either green or a nice yellow. Now
Smiley
they're
sun,
blood red.
smiley sun, wasn't it? Didn't the sun used to have a smiley face?
Yeah. Sometimes with the hat on.
yep. But now it's all red and deep red disaster.
Burning death.
It's on fire. Everything's on fucking fire. But yeah, no, it's crazy stuff. Isn't it? Crazy.
You got to keep that anxiety level up.
Yeah, everything is fear. Everything is. You got to fear this. You got to fear that. You got to
That's
fear
because you
the
control.
multiply. You got to figure. They're talking about foot and mouth now. They're talking about Marburg, which sounds to me like Mark Zuckerberg. So you know, they're talking about.
They keep trying with the monkeypox.
So that word again, Marburg. Now, I did a similar stream to this panel debate, talk, and I said the word. I said, everyone remember. I'll find it. Everyone remember this word, Marburg, because it's going to become very apparent because they're going to use it as the next B.
But isn't it the M5.A now that is the biggie?
It's a BA5 as well.
BA5. That's
the one that's putting everybody in hospitals and killing them in all the vaccinated in America.
Yeah, and
right now starting to fill up the hospitals.
Yeah, but haven't the NSA, NSA, the National Office of National Statistics, say that when you've had a few, stopped publishing vaccinated people admitted into a hospital. They've stopped publishing these figures for some reason.
Oh, really?
But there's still 1,300 excess deaths a week happening.
Wow.
Or was that something like that?
Oh.
That's those mystery deaths.
Boomer, are you in Minsk?
Not right now.
Okay.
Will be shortly.
It's getting pretty hairy out there now.
No. Everything's normal there.
Okay.
And in Russia.
It's fair porn.
I'm going to try and raise some money while I'm there, and then take a couple trucks to the Donbass because it's just across the border from where we are. And,
okay.
So it's pretty interesting.
Take a couple of trucks to the Donbass region.
Yeah. I thought I'd put Australia flags on it, and that'll really piss people off in Australia and all that. Bring an aid to the other side.
But it's kicking off all over. If you watch the mainstream news, you wouldn't even know it. But Netherlands, France, Germany. I mean, Germany's economy is just like gone.
Mentioned about a tank in China.
Yeah, there was tanks on the street because the people were attacking some bank because the bank said, "Oh, sorry, you're not having your money now. You're an investor or something like that." And the people came to the bank pissed off, so they put the tanks on the street.
Ooh.
They've said, as far as I know, and this is only through social media, but as far as I know, the banks have turned everybody's savings into investment. I can't remember the name. Investment something. Yeah. So what they've done is they've withheld all the savings from the people in, I think it's Shanghai, And no, they said you're not having your money.
Well, they've changed the laws in Australia too, and I think they've changed. Yeah, but in Australia now, they're going to do bail-ins, not bailouts. So the government won't bail out the banks. So what'll hand up is they'll take your money, and you're an unsecured investor. That's how they're going to take you, right? So sorry, you're an investor, but you're unsecured, and that's it. They'll just take your money, and they've changed all the laws.
Send all the toys to Rwanda. UK will be happy.
So,
Unfortunately, the lawyers will stop it.
Yeah. Can I just jump in, guys? Tyrant, thank you for inviting me onto the panel.
No worries,
It's
mate.
been a pleasure, and I will speak to you all again. I'm going to drop into the comments.
All right, mate. Thanks for coming
All
on.
right. Take care, all. Bye-bye.
nice one, Brony.
Well, you look at it. What we got, bloody down to the final two.
I was. The funny thing is, I was just about to say that. What is it? Liz Truss.
Sunak and Tuss. Somebody, right? Never trust anyone who's got a green card to California. That should be telling you. But then equally, you should trust anybody who's now turned around. She was a Brexiteer, and they turned around and said she's made a mistake.
Oh man, they're both WEF candidates as well. They're global leaders.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't believe this country. It's going to, I want to move. I want to move to fucking Hungary or Russia or fucking, I want to move, man.
Belarus?
Belarus is nice.
Belarus is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very into Judo-Christian family values.
But the thing is, there's no way, unless you're Boomer, there's no way you're going to get into that country. I would never be able to walk up to Belarus or Russia or Hungary and say, "Let me in." They just
well, you go to Belarus border, they'll give you a 30-day visa, and while you're there, just have political asylum. That's what a few of the Americans from January 6th, you know, all that January 6th bullshit, right? They've gone to Belarus. They're there.
Really?
Yeah. There's lots of people. Yeah, they all fucking go to Russia and Belarus. Yeah.
Fuck.
It's actually more free there. It's actually more free there. As long as you don't want to overthrow the government, you're fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck. How do I get to Belarus? How the fuck do I get to Belarus?
Through Turkey.
No. I'm going to Vilnius, and then I'm hiring a car or car and driver to go across the border. Or you can do it from Warsaw and then cross the border.
Poland.
Yeah, 30-day visa waiver. You can stay there for 30 days
and then disappear.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what the Iraqis and all that. They're coming in on a 30-day visa and then they're going across the border to Poland and all that.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to go over the border. I want to go if you want
to stay in the EU. Hungary, they've just put in laws against the LBG stuff. They're paying people to have babies instead of immigrants, right? So instead of having immigration, they're paying people to have babies, and that seems to be working. And as Tyrant said, they're based in Christian values and family values. That's it.
Yeah, it's Oban. I think he's doing quite well, Oban.
Yeah.
Is it Oban?
Yeah, Oban.
Yeah.
But even Lukashenko at Belarus, okay, you know, he says he's a dictator and all that sort of thing, but he loves his country. And if you ask anybody there, they like him there because they say he's stopping everybody else stealing.
Yeah.
Whereas in Ukraine, everybody's stealing, right? That's what happens when.
Yeah.
In Ukraine, they don't want that.
Do you guys know a program called The Duran?
Yeah.
Boomer.
I met Alex in Athens a couple of days last week.
Oh, no way. No way.
Yeah, he's coming to Belarus. Really? Yeah, he's coming to Belarus as well to have a look, yeah.
Did he film it?
Alex.
Who, us?
Yeah.
No, we sat in a cafe in Athens for 3 hours or something. Chatting.
Was he off camera?
Yeah. We were just chatting and
amazing, man. That's fucking amazing. I love the Duran.
Yeah, so I said to him, while I'm there, come and have a look, because he wants to move either to Russia or Belarus, right? He's leaving Russia now. And Yeah, so he's going to come and I'll show him around.
That is incredible.
So we look at all the both sides to the whole war in Ukraine, not just what the mainstream media that are spouting out is like Putin,
Yeah.
bad man, he's invading the Donbass and things like that. You know, but at no time at all did he invade anything. In fact, he was asked to go in and peacekeep. Exactly what NATO was asked to do in the Balkans.
Yeah.
Was asked to do. And mind you, he only went in there after pleading for the last decade to sign the Minsk Agreement, which every country that signed up to the Minsk Agreement agreed to it, but Ukraine just wouldn't sign it.
Yeah.
So
the last Ukrainian president, who's in London now, he said he just signed it just to give him more time, to get more weapons and build up all that.
I think they signed it, but they just didn't carry it through.
Implement.
Sorry, that's right. They signed but didn't implement.
Yeah. It's a stalling tactic. That's what they said.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why they had Ukrainians had like 80,000 troops on the contact line.
Yeah, 60,000 down the southeast, and that's why they were just about to attack the Donbass.
Yeah. And
the Russians got him first.
He was forced to do it. To do it. But
8 years, 16,000 civilians, 358 kids killed by the Western Ukrainians. There you go. Yeah. And still today, instead of shelling the Russian, the Russians aren't actually there. It's DPR, it's mercenaries, and it's the Chechens. But they're still today just shelling schools and hospitals and villages.
Yeah. I'm amazed that people think that this war started on February the 24th. Right? Yeah, I'm amazed by that. Yeah. I'm amazed.
Oh, you're so right there, mate. Because most people actually think it started in February. It started a decade ago.
Yeah, started in 2014, I think. Oh,
what about when they?
It's 2014 when the coup started.
When they turned the water off and everything.
The Maidan. Wasn't it the Maidan?
Yeah. It was 2014.
And they installed what's his name? Poroshenko.
Yeah.
And the guy before that was Yanukovych.
Yeah.
So they installed Poroshenko, and it's a lady called Victoria Newland that installed
that yank.
Do you know her background? She's originally from the Ukraine and Russia and all that, and she got her family had to flee, so that's what she's just got a fucking chip on her shoulder.
Yeah, she fucking hates the Russians.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
But she's one of the main drivers, along with what's his name? Jake Sullivan.
Yeah, Jake Sullivan.
Yeah, and it's all puppet shit. It's all puppet shit. And
hey, most people think it's still communist in Russia as well.
Exactly. Exactly. Most people think, oh man, it's the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that at all. Fuck's sake. These people should really get over themselves. I was on a chat in the auditors chat, and there's a girl called Laura Liu, okay, and she proudly went to a window and pulled out a Ukraine flag and went, yeah, Ukraine. And I said to her, Laura, I said, 2 words. Look up these 2 words before you show your Ukraine flag. Stefan Bandera. Look it up. Right? Look it up. And she looked it up and she was like, oh, fuck. I was like, there you go.
Nazi Stefan Bandera. Didn't he form the something party? No.
He was a total Nazi. I think he collaborated with the Azov. He collaborated with Nazis.
Yeah.
I think they killed about 160,000 Jews, and
Poles and all sorts of things all around that area. Hungarians, yeah.
Poles. It's really strange, really, because the Poles have got a real problem with Bandera stuff, or Bandera. What would you call them? Bandera.
Yeah, Banderites.
Yeah. So they've got a real problem with it, but then they support West Ukraine. So when you're in Ukraine West, the further east you get is more Russian.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. It's kind weird.
Because that area, Lviv and all that, used to be in Poland, right? You know.
Yeah.
And so my wife's best friend lives in Lviv at the moment, and I don't know why, but most people don't know. Every year, that big celebration for the SS division they were in.
Yeah, they've got statues of Bandera in Lviv, and they named streets after him. And
What's a bit like it's a bit like all these symbols that are appearing around now, like the Black Sun, the Volksicle, or some Volksangle, the Azov Battalion, the lightning strike of the SS, and things like that. Yeah. Those things that we associate, that people that learn history and learn what happens on both fronts, because I would say on the Eastern Front had a lot more deaths and people killed. You just look at some of the war graves of the especially in Belarus, all these war graves of villages that were just wiped out because of Nazis.
25% of the population.
Yeah, 25% of the Belarusian population got wiped out. But we're seeing all these symbols of the SS now appearing on the national army of Ukraine. But it's okay because they were long ago. We don't have none of that in the force now. But we clearly see the swastika donned on their helmets, or they've got swastika tattoos and things like that. Then can anybody absorb from their sins of the past what their forefathers did or what their forefathers stood for? It's a bit like the owners of BMW. Being slave people during the war.
And the British government support this?
Oh, we're clearly helping them, aren't we?
I like the best is ex-Israeli special forces are training the Nazis.
So the British? In fact,
but the Jews are training the Nazis. That's just like, what?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. We've got, I live in Cardiff in the UK, in Wales. And on the government building in Cardiff, they're flying Ukraine flag. Well, that is, to me...
They're flying the Ukrainian flag. They're also flying the trans flag and the LGBTQ plus whatever flag. On the state.
In London, the Ukraine flags were everywhere.
Because so far, you got your leader of the Welsh Senedd, who's heavily signed up to WEF, and you've got the Bristol mayor who's heavily signed up to WEF as well. They're just WEF puppets.
Yeah, it's everywhere, and this is the problem we've got. It's not going to be a global new world order. It is going to be split in two, and like Orwell said, it's going to be a fight against Eurasia and Oceania, and it's going to be a perpetual war. And if we're not careful, that's where we're going to end up. And I'd prefer it to be on the other side rather than this side.
Yeah, the other side's going to be growth. Wealth will go up, and the other side, this side, is going to be poor.
Boomer, let me tell you, your mic is glitchy.
Oh, my battery might be running out.
That's okay. Sounds good now.
Yeah.
Go say what you're saying.
I said the east side's going to be growth and future, all that sort of thing. Most of the money, most of the wealth, and then the west side, which is the collective west, which is what 5, 6, 7 countries. They're going to be very poor. I mean, like the EU, the UK, US.
Yeah. We're switching around, aren't we? It's a complete turn that we're going to be in the we're in the descendancy.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't really want to be in this country because we're in a decline. Yeah.
Well, you look at it, it's ever influxing of people coming into the country, regardless of how they're coming in. You know, we can't look after the people that are here in the country already. The economy's going up the spout. Food's becoming scarce. Cost of living's going through the roof because everyone must be feeling it now on their energy bills. On
the prices in Belarus, like the wife said, nothing's gone up at all there in the last 8 months or nothing. She's filling her 70-liter tank for $55 US. That's it.
Right.
Which is about 48 pounds or something.
When any car now you're going to fill up and you're going to spend over £100 to fill up a tank.
Yeah, I went to the supermarket today and 2 chicken breasts used to be $3.25 and now they're $3.75. I went to the egg aisle and the eggs used to be £1 for 6. Now they're £1.25. And this is only the beginning.
See,
yeah. There's going to be stagflation here.
They're blaming it all on everything, aren't they? They're blaming like why everything's going up is the cost of living crisis and Brexit and obviously the war in Ukraine. That's why we've got a spiraling inflation rate. Is because of all these things that are happening around the world. It's just a load of fucking bollocks in my eyes.
Oh, this is a result of all the lockdown fucking bullshit they did. As well as they never fix the banking problem in 2008 either. So those two things.
Yeah, you're right. It's not about
this is lockdown
a war.
damage.
It's not about a war that's like 2,000 miles away. This has been happening for years and years, and now we're starting to feel the pinch.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to feel the pressure for it.
And the EU's made it worse because they've put sanctions on, and it's coming back to bite them.
Absolutely.
And you see it. They're also blaming it. Why we're feeling it is because of Brexit, right? Can you see it now? We're potentially going to have a Brexiteer who's now turncoat. You know, who's done a turncoat and said she regrets Brexit. Now, if she gets into power, do you think we'll ever re-enter Europe?
Oh, they're going to try. They're going to try with some treaty to tie you closer. They're bound to.
If you're talking about Liz Truss,
yeah,
I've got a feeling that she's going to drag us into a war.
Well, she's already said that she will go to war with Putin, didn't she? She's already made that pretty clear.
Yeah. Her statements, if you look at the government websites or her websites, her statements is there are absolutely warmongering. She thinks she's, I don't want to put it in too many, she thinks that she's Thatcher, and she ain't.
Yeah, and look at the clothes she wears. Same thing as Thatcher all the time.
Yeah, and she's playing that role, but she's like weak as fuck. But the thing is, the problem is that she's going to draw us into a war which nobody needs, nobody wants, and
you can't win, and you'll lose.
And
And
you
you'll lose.
definitely lose.
When have we ever gone up somebody who's, I would say, equally technologically, probably superior to us in warfare? We've never have we? We've never gone up against anyone like the Russians, and Russians really and the Chinese are only our two biggest threats.
No, like the guys on the Duran say, people forget that Russia is not just a gas station parading as a country.
Yeah.
Nobody understands what Russia is. Yeah, Russia is a very, very powerful, and they've got allies in China, in Iran, in India, in South America,
Africa, everywhere, Middle East.
Yeah, absolutely. Africa, yeah, absolutely.
Britain and everyone else is pissed off.
It's a split, isn't it?
You'll see how many people, how many
Right down the
countries
line.
join the BRICS.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, BRICS is expanding. It's plus maybe another 5 countries, maybe another 7 countries. You know, BRICS is fuck. It blows the G7 away.
Yeah, in population. Did you?
Well,
did
yeah.
Comparison to the G7 and Brits, and it said the population of all the countries put together. It was hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. And some of these are they are huge countries.
Yeah.
They've got huge populations and they've got huge economies. And we in the West are ignoring it. But the thing is that like Duran says, the neocons in America, they've got no fucking break. They just double down all the time. Just keep on doubling down. And it's getting us nowhere.
Iron curtain, isn't it? It's either the war's going to happen or there's going to be a massive iron curtain put up between the East and West again, like there was before. You know, and old Tuss will be leading it because she wants to be Thatcher, and who led us through the Cold War. You know, she did lead us out of it in the end.
Oh my God, what a fucking mess!
When you ever see Ricky,
it's a mess.
Being Prime Minister, though, can you actually see the Conservative members voting Ricky as?
No, he's. I'm not being racist, but for the Conservative members, he's too brown because they're all old white people.
Yeah,
and they'll vote for the white woman.
But if it was Labour, they certainly would have, because obviously, if it got Labour in, they go with any woke vote to get the people on the side, wouldn't it? Regardless if it was right or wrong. You know.
No, I think you're right in that, but he also looks like Roland Rat.
Oh, so yeah, but it's the thing that's coming out of the comments that he came out. He freely admitted that he never had any working class friends.
And he should be disqualified because he's got a green card to the USA straight away.
Yeah.
Well, you said the other day, but Boris had one, didn't he? But
he had citizenship. He was born there.
Yeah, well, that's it. He was born there.
And they said he gave it up. I can't see he gave up his citizenship to the US.
The thing that
his wife is a massive tax exile. Sorry, to me, he won't have the best interest. It's not of the country, of the average working class man. He won't have the best interest. He won't.
No.
And he won't. He hasn't got the best interest of the country at heart because he's too weft. They're all weft. When are people not going to see it? It's going to be the New World Order run by the World Economic Forum.
That's why Lukashenko, Putin, Viktor Orban, they are patriots. They love their countries.
Yeah.
And I think Erdogan is going the other way as well.
Yeah, Turkey will join the BRICS.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. He's been playing both sides, but now it's kind of crunch time. Excuse me. It's kind of crunch time now, and he's played it quite well. but I think he's going to fall on the side of BRICS, and I think Germany is going to fall. Italy already has probably fallen. Britain obviously has just like changed whatever, but even if Sunak or Truss, I don't think they're going to be able to get through the next year, and there's going to be a snap general election. Probably.
Well, Sunak caused a lot of these problems by printing billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's chancellor, yeah.
And then he says he can fix things. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like the arsonist being the fire brigade person, like a fireman, I suppose.
Well, that's right. It's like I'm just going to pour petrol on the fire. The thing is with Sunak is that he's saying that he's going to get us out of this economic problem, yet he's the one that created the problem.
Yeah, most of it, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, fuck, these people.
Yeah, but the problem is Labour's worse.
Absolutely.
Well,
You need a Cromwell. You need a new Cromwell too here in this country. Go in, take everybody out, start again.
Yep.
if we have a snap general election, which I can see one coming, they're going to have to. I'm surprised Boris didn't do a complete up yours, Joe, and then go to the Queen saying, I'm going to dissolve Parliament early. You know what I mean? Which he's well entitled to do. You know, then call a general election there and then.
But then, do you think that, I'm just going to put it out there, do you think that Boris is holding on until September 7th, I think? Do you think he's just holding on because he knows that there's going to be a majority of Tory people, Tory voters, to demand the reinstatement of Boris Johnson? Do you think, this is the question, do you think that he's going nowhere? Because I think that he's such a stubborn person and he believes that he was pushed out by a coup d'etat, that he's just going to keep on fighting. Yeah?
No, I think he wants to make money now.
What is public speaking?
He'll get his columns back. He'll start doing public speaking and all that because he's always been moaning about not being able to make money while he's PM.
Yeah, he's going to be on what, 100,000 a night?
Well,
Yeah. Well, this is how the corruption works. You know, they do favors, and then when they go around, they get paid for speaking.
Yeah.
Look at Obama. When they went into the White House, they were worth what, 200,000 or something. Now he's worth, multi-millions.
Yeah, but
Blair's a good example. Look at that.
Yeah, I know that, but the thing is that Boris, he's like a dog with a bone. He doesn't want to let go. He wants a second term. I know he does. I'm pretty sure he does. And I don't know. He's like,
I can't see it already giving him, that chance. Look, I have seen polls by Talk TV have done polls whether or not, and by all accounts, Boris is polling out of everyone the top of the poll. Saying we rather keep Boris than who we've actually chosen. Or that, mind you, it's not we haven't chosen. The Conservative members are chosen. So again, he's going to be another she's going to be another unelected prime minister that the people haven't given the choice on whether or not do we want this person to be prime minister.
Yeah, there is that.
What? How many months until we get a general election to really screw the country over, potentially taking us to war, whereby they're not elected. So really, they shouldn't be until the people's voted on whether or not that we think they're worthy to hold the office of Prime Minister. Then they shouldn't be able to make any decisions whether or not to take us to war, because it's not the House that's got to have, really, ultimately, it's not the House that has to have confidence in the Prime Minister. It's the people.
It's the people, yeah.
When all these politicians put in votes of no confidence, really, it's us that should be voting a no confidence. There should be something within parliamentary rules that if enough members of the public vote of no confidence of their leader, it should be passed.
That's what they got in America. Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they got in America. Recall. You get enough signatures, you can force them to have an election.
Yeah. But we don't. We have an election when they say we have an election. You know?
Yeah.
And I think democracy's finished, whereby we're going to have a one clear horse race. Is always now going to be a split parliament. You know, we've seen that back in Cameron's day when he had to go a coalition with the Liberal Democrats. Now look at that party now. That party was up and coming. Now look at it. It's a nothing party. So there's going to have to be multi-coalitions to form any party within that group, in that house. It's absolutely stupid. So that's why I think democracy changing, and they'll all try and sell people on this one world government will be best for all. And that's why I think they're trying to fuck it up so much.
Yeah, you're probably right there, Tyrant. You gotta remember that the whole thing, the whole show is rigged. Everyone has to remember that.
Yeah, it's like promoting any director of a company. When you vote, or the board vote for a new director, the company doesn't change. Only the people that sit at the top change. Yeah, so the policies and everything don't really change, because as a company, we've got to look at the British company is a trading company, so it's in the business of making money. So, and I personally believe this: anyone in the business of making money really can't have the best interest of the people at heart. So, you know, it's just all selling out to one world government, I think.
Yeah, that's a good analogy, because the company has to exist, you know, so it doesn't really matter who the CEO is. Yeah,
you need to get rid of everybody in the public service, or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
You know, all the everybody, because they haven't left for 20, 30 years either. All these, you know, people running all these departments and all that. You get rid of them all.
How can a political party be registered and trade as a business? How can a police force be registered as a business, as a profit company?
Yeah, all countries are registered as a business everywhere. Russia's registered as a business here.
Yeah.
Australia's registered in America.
I knew about Australia and I knew about America. I didn't know that Russia was.
Yeah, Belarus is registered in America as well, I think.
All countries, businesses.
Yeah, all of them.
All parties. Labour Party was registered under the name Alistair Darling.
Yeah, corporations, not businesses.
Corporations, sorry, corporations. Yeah, same difference.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
It's not a company's house. It's on a more, you know, Dun and Bad Street. if you look on that one, which deals with all the top echelons, as we call it, you'll find them all on there. And they're already corporations for business. No, it's like you say, nothing is real.
No. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
Well, the Soviet Union's still registered in the UN. Russia isn't. So they've still got their seat as the USSR. If you have a look.
I'm just reading the comments.
Sorry.
Yeah, someone's saying we should do a Sri Lanka and take over the pool.
People in this country are too.
Yeah. Would we?
No, you just keep taking it. Carry on.
We said that, because we're British, aren't we? Well, I'm not British. I'm English, actually. So we'll stiff upper lip and all that. Keep calm, carry on, take a shaft in. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the last
we?
riots was Mark Duggan, I think, and then the one before that was the poll tax.
Yeah,
I think.
You're right.
Yeah.
Where it kicked off all over the country, not just like in one city. You had the Bristol riots back in 21. All the
You need every city to go at once, and then it'll overload the police forces, and it'll be it.
Why do you think the Bristol one, the police didn't go in so early? Because they were waiting for all the Welsh police to turn up, all the police from Gloucester to turn up. Because most of those police that did the beating that night were Douglas Paris. They were.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you always want the police who are beating people to be away from your area, because the local police won't do it.
David Paris. Amazing.
They all came over. They shipped him from Gloucester, from over the bridge. They shipped him in, and that's why they didn't go in until pitch black, because they had to wait for all the police to accrue from all the other areas. Because, like we said, if every city kicked off at one time, the police would be overwhelmed because they don't have enough TSG, tactical support.
And even army, you haven't got enough. I mean, all your army will fit in one stadium. That'll be it. One small stadium, not even a big one.
Yeah. We don't. They rely on heavily. All areas won't kick off, and they can draft different force areas in.
Yep.
Because not a regular copper. Because public order policing, you got to think of public order police, i.e., a TSG or whatever they're called in your local area, territorial support group, riot police, better known. That's a different policing. That's policing whereby common law goes out the window. Right? Public order is the more aggressive side of policing, as I call it, whereby there's it's a free for all. If they're aggressive to you, you become aggressive back to them. That's their mantra. So yeah, they get overwhelmed.
That's crazy to think of. And there's going to be a lot more of this over the next year or two.
Well, there is rumours that there's going to be civil unrest. Or is that just another scaremongering from the tactics that they can, because we're having climate pushed on us. What, do we need the army on to help us because of climate? Because places are spontaneously combusting, materials just catching fire that would never spontaneously combust in your garden because it grows in the tropics and things like that, and they don't have problems.
Yeah.
It's whole.
Have you seen the whole wildfires over the so-called heat wave? They've all been debunked.
Well, they've all been set deliberately because Boomer told me the other day they all happened around about the same time. of the day.
Mm.
You know, up and down the country. How do we know it wasn't
XR.
XR or somebody like that to push the climate narrative?
Yeah.
We know it
Well,
wasn't deliberate.
yeah, government stuff.
A lot of it to me would be people leaving glasses on tables unattended, going in, leaving barbecues unattended. You know, that
Oh,
was
dude.
somebody
insane.
a cigarette out the window.
In saying that, did you see the video of in Donetsk where the Ukrainians have left they've left magnifying glasses on the wheat fields? Have you seen that video?
With surprise.
I don't know whether it's true or not, but there's like they show you the video of a stick and they've taped a magnifying glass around the stick and it's facing the sun to cause wildfires. I don't know.
Yeah. The West Ukrainians have been burning everything as well
Yeah.
as they leave and blowing up all the bridges, destroying infrastructure.
I mean, it's obvious in a war situation. It's obvious that these things would happen, but
Well, the Russians haven't been destroying infrastructure, if you notice, unlike the Americans and the UK when they go and they destroy fucking everything.
well, yeah. I mean, the whole idea for the Russians is to destroy the military rather than the infrastructure of
Demilitarization, denazification.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted, though, wasn't it? Putin. That's all he wants.
Well,
Pretty
2
much.
days 2 days ago now, they're saying they have to go even further west now because they've got long-range weapons. So now they have to go further than we're going to go.
Yeah, the lines have changed now.
Yeah.
If,
Odessa will be in Russian hands as well.
And Kharkiv.
Yeah, all that area. Well, they're all Russian cities anyway. Fucking most of the people are there.
Do you know Gonzalo Lira?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Kharkiv.
Yeah.
I think he's a bit of a... I appreciate him, but I think he's a bit of a fool staying in Kharkiv because he just might get bombed. I'm not sure. He might. But it's what he wants to do. It's up to him. But I'm amazed that you spoke to Alex.
Yeah. Well, I just messaged him. I said, I'm coming there. Do you want to chat? And he went, yeah, good.
Do you know, somewhere in the back of my mind said to me that you were in Greece. Maybe I read a post or something like that.
Yeah. I went to see a friend from Alaska. I hadn't seen him for 15 years, and he was flying through, going to the islands for a wedding. So I flew there to see him. That's all.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. Can't miss him, can you? You're like, Alex, you're wearing a Duran t-shirt. It's obvious it's you.
Yeah. And he's much taller than me.
I think he's, what is he, 6'4" or something?
Yeah, 6 something.
I've never seen him standing up, actually. Saying that.
Patrick Lancaster, he's been on holiday, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just got back. His first report today was on that bridge, where they put holes in it, the Ukrainians, from rockets or whatever.
Okay. Has he got a report?
Yeah, he's back. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Go to his Telegram channel. You'll see it.
Yeah, I'll look at that. Yeah, no problem.
He went on holiday with the family.
Yeah, I saw a post about 2 weeks ago.
No, 2 days ago he posted photos of his family when they were having fun, like in the water, and the wife and the kids.
That guy is so fucking brave, man.
Yeah, he's a proper, you know what I mean? Where's all the British war correspondents, back like the days with like Kate Adie and all those people, and even back then Kate Adie didn't really have any stones, did she? She was at the hotel, but he's on the front line with them.
Yeah, they're all in Lviv.
Oh yeah, the Western journalists, yeah, in a
Yeah.
hotel.
They're all in Lviv, or at the best Kiev, but they're all in Lviv.
Yeah.
You know,
In a narrative.
say again.
They're just reporting a narrative. They're not really reporting on both sides. It's all like, poor, bad man Putin. He's bombing this, he's bombing that. But they're not actually saying, well, some of these they're bombing is because they're storing military hardware in areas that they shouldn't do, like coming out firing off from supermarkets or having an ammunition dump in a supermarket that's not actually used. It's just all propaganda shit. And that's why I think like citizen journalists, because a citizen journalist, they don't really care, do they? They just, as long as they're putting it out there, it's like they're not really painting the truth in my eyes. They're painting
No,
what
absolutely. Jazzy B in the chat. Graham Phillips, yeah, okay. He's
I went off Graham when he was slagging off Lancaster.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's a little bit iffy, but Eva Bartlett, yeah, she's true. She's from good stock. Yeah. But if you want to see some proper, real, live reporting, go to Patrick Lancaster.
Yeah.
Even RT, if you go to RT, their journalists are on the front line.
Yeah, I haven't got the VPN to do that because obviously it's been banned. So I think RT might be on Odyssey. I'm not sure. But yeah.
I've started watching that every day because at least you're getting actually even real world news as well, not Western tainted.
Yeah.
So you can find out what's going on in China and all these other places.
It's just people are believing, they don't do their own research. They just believe what Western media, because that's all they've got to watch is Western media, and they don't search the internet for other sides, take on it and then make an informed decision. They're just, everything's true, isn't it? Everything they've been told.
Yeah, but that's like everything. Look, the last 2 years was the same.
Yeah, but why?
Previous years.
Because you've seen it, and I said this at the whole beginning, back in February, when it all started, I said I fell out with more people about the Ukrainian business in the previous 2 years about the CVID.
Yeah.
Right? You was having more arguments about that than the V.
Well, that's because they think the bad Russians are killing all the civilians. That's what they've been told.
Yeah.
That's it. As soon as you say, for example, do you like Oliver Stone? They go, yeah. Go and watch his documentary. You give them Ukraine on Fire. And they watch that and they go, oh, shit. Completely changes their mind straight away.
It's a good documentary, that is.
Brilliant. I always lead with, do you like Oliver Stone food? Yeah, I'll go watch it.
Yeah.
And then you've got fucking Sean Penn. Who else? I can't remember who else has been fucking there. It's just
even if you don't believe Oliver Stone or don't like his stuff, watch Panorama if you believe BBC, because they did a documentary back years ago about the Nazification of the Ukraine and how bad it was.
Yes, I know that. Yeah, I've seen that. Oh, Jazzy B. Yes.
Yeah, he lives in Russia.
Earl Grey. Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Russia. He's married to a Russian.
He's pretty good as well.
He was on the Duran the other day, wasn't he? A couple of days ago.
Yeah, he was.
Yesterday.
Earl Grey is a good guy. Yeah, he's there. Military Summary is the other one that you need to watch. Trying to think. I'm not so sure about Scott. Do you know Scott Ritter?
Yeah, Scott. Yeah, he's been fairly right all the way. The same with that Colonel McGregor. They've been close. What's going on?
Yeah.
Those two.
See, we
They all think it'll be over in 30 days. Once they get past this next defense line, that's it. We've got no defense then. That'll be it. Straight to the Dnieper.
Yeah, and then they can move up to. Is it called the Dnieper?
Yeah, Dnieper. Yeah.
So they can move up to there, and then from there, they can do pretty much what they want.
After they get to the river, then they'll concentrate on Odessa.
Oh man, all the names are coming in. Look, Whitney Webb, she's fucking amazing. All the names are coming in the chat.
Yeah.
Medium Monarchy. Oh fucking hell, that's James. Oh, what's his name? James. Help me out, Dilip. It's James. Oh, he's got a Spanish name. Same as James Corbett. He does Pilato. James Pilato. Yeah. He's pretty good. And he plays some cool music as well.
Smoothie X12. He's a Russian from the Russian Navy. He moved to America, but he goes through everything, and that's pretty good as well. He's written a few books.
Smoothie X12?
Yeah, Smoothie X12.
Look up Alexandria Duggan. I don't know, I ain't heard of her.
Who's Alexander Duggan? Check out things he has said.
What happened throughout the Ukraine over the time, like the Valley of the Alley of Angels, and when they, what was it, the Moldove? Is it Moldove?
Moldova?
No, when they burnt all those people in that government building.
Oh yeah. That was in Odessa, wasn't it?
Oh, in Odessa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Union building or something.
It was the Union building. 25 people.
Yeah, and all those kids that got killed. Alley of Angels.
350.
Yeah. But this is the thing. See, people don't realize that the Maidan revolution was not a revolution by the people. It started out as a revolution by the people, but it was hijacked, and people don't realize that. People don't realize that it was completely hijacked by the Americans. And that's what
goes back to that woman. It was started by her, wasn't it? It was started by that woman. The woman you mentioned earlier, that
Victoria Newman.
Victoria Newman.
Yeah. And there's even phone calls between her and her counterpart talking about who's going to be the next leader of Ukraine. And they're saying like, no, I don't want him. I don't want him. What I want is this guy. Yeah. And it turned out to be Poroshenko, I think. But that's what fucks me off, is that people don't realize when you watch or you see the Maidan uprising, everyone thinks, oh, it's a popular uprising. No, it was taken over by Azov. It was taken over by Right Sector.
MI6 CIA helped.
MI6 CIA, and it was just totally fucking a complete coup.
Well, look at Belarus. 2020, they had the uprising, supposedly, right? There wasn't that many people, and then they tried again, and then they tried a coup.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
3 times in 1 year they tried, and then he just got really hard. He said, "Fuck this!" And then they got those 2 MI6 agents they caught in Belarus. Don't know if you know that. And they made fun of the woman because she was really big, and they were saying, "Oh, she hasn't been on the field for a while," and all that sort of thing. But they just kicked him out of the country. They could have just arrested him. They just kicked him out of the country.
And then you've got the likes of John Bolton.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
telling people out loud that he organizes fucking coups. It's
Well,
just
we know that anyway.
hilarious. Yeah, I organize coups, but it's all in the interest of the USA.
Yeah. It's nice news.
Yeah. What coup do you want? Well, they're only nice coups.
I bet you most people don't know the CIA organised the government change in Australia as well
Really?
in 1975. Yeah, the Labor government was about to do what New Zealand was going to do, or did, was like no nuclear ships around the area, right?
Uh-huh.
And they organised a semi-coup and they got the other government in.
Wow.
You interfere in our country as well.
So Boomer, you're an Australian,
Yes.
but you spend your time in Belarus and UK, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just about to get my living visa there. I'll be moving full time.
In Belarus.
Yes.
Oh, cool, man. That's fucking cool.
I had to get a police check here in Australia, all that sort of thing, and then give it to the KGB, and then they have to check me out. Yada yada yada. But I've been going there since 2008, and I lived there for 12 months in 2008. So, you know.
Yeah, but you'll be gone already because if pandemic didn't happen and shit like that, you'd probably be gone already.
Yeah. Well, that's every time something happens, we're about to go, something's happened, and then we were just about to move our stuff in this year, and then the sanctions started, so no company's allowed to take any of our stuff there. So.
Hi, Indy. How you doing, man?
You all right? Yeah, I'm cool, man. Fucking hell, you've actually got a hair and you've actually got your hat off for once. Jesus.
I know, I forgot. I've actually got alopecia on the back of my head.
Look, I've got alopecia on the sides of my head. Look, there you go.
No, I've got real alopecia. I've got stuff. I've got stuff to put on it. Look.
You know, there's this stuff that you can buy that comes in a can. You can spray it on it. It looks like hair until the wind blows it away.
Yeah.
Or you can just go the other way and get a wig. Scalp lotion. Fuck that. Yeah, next time I get a haircut, I'll send you some of mine in the post.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you want to come and visit, come and visit, and I'll show you around.
Don't you, when you come over, don't you have to be invited into the country?
No, you can just turn up at the border. As long as you've got travel insurance, money, somewhere to stay, you can go there for 30 days.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And they've just made it easier for all the countries around them. So because people are going across the border to buy petrol and food, and then come back to the EU.
Indy, can I ask a question?
Go for it, mate.
Is that the camera that's making you look so red, or do you just
burn? It's 2 hours of fucking river, mate, if you want to take the piss, yeah? I've got red rings around my legs from where my socks were. I've got the same things on my fucking face, as you can see, and I've got them on top of my arms as well. I'm boiling, mate. I'm sitting here sweating.
You wearing glasses by any chance? Because you look like you got white rings around your
eyes. I'm not wearing glasses, you asshole. Look.
You can see the frown lines in between the frown lines. It's all white.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
I'm coming off.
The white.
Look out.
White lines.
That's what happened yesterday. Well, not yesterday, day before, when I went kayaking with Daryl and Ian. I got absolutely burnt. Them two were playing battleships and chase me, and I'm just cruising down the river, you know.
Have you got footage of this kayaking? Because
no, basically, I took a new GoPro camera with me that Ian gave me, and basically it wouldn't record. Well, I don't think I know how to work it properly. I did try to record it, but when I got back and tried to upload the footage, it was telling me that the memory card was corrupt. Right, one sec, guys.
Oh. He was in mid-flow then, and he on yourself. What did he get caught short? Did he fart and accidentally through, and he had to quickly go to the toilet? What's happened there?
I think he needed a poo.
Yeah. He certainly moved as quick as I would have moved if I, did a crafty fart and to touch cloth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's got put in a pound in the meter. Surely he's run to the meter. The meter's bleeding. Beep beep
Beep, 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 beep. Quick.
quick, Indy, quick. I want to hear about his kayaking. Did he fall out? I heard that Darwin nearly fell out. Oh, here he is. Here he is.
I'm back. Right, were you taking the piss out of yours?
Yeah, you shot off that quick, mate. I thought you followed through. You done a crafty fart, followed through, and just ran to the toilet quick.
No, I've got a cork up there. That stops all that shit.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna go live after you finished, Tyrant.
Are you ready?
Yeah, because I've right, the Rendlesham thing, I've debunked it with Ian and Daryl.
It was a tourist attraction mainly, wasn't it?
Yeah, tourist attraction. But we did see some weird things in the sky other than the two Chinese lanterns. If you go onto my live stream and have a look, there's actually an orb that we saw in the air that was moving erratically like this, and then it shot off into the distance.
It's like I said, UFOs and stuff like that. Until it ever happens to me, it's is it one of those theories? I'm not saying it is, but it has been like, if you believe in something so much that you're gonna see it eventually.
Well, they say you manifest it, don't you? If you think of something hard enough, it comes true.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't go there to see UFOs. I went there to debunk what was said in the 1980s, because at the end of the day, I knew that it was a lot of tarnished bullcrap, because it would have been everywhere. And they've even managed to find out that a few of the guys were lying that went there, that said that they touched the UFO and stuff like that. Not being funny, something that come from up there, if you've touched it, you're going to get something off of it, radiation, whatever. Nobody got anything. So
I'm just one of those, unless it happens to me. I'm not saying there isn't, because if you think we live in a universe this big, and a lot of it we haven't explored, we're just managing to get there now. Yeah. If you don't believe that it's only us, then you're a bit mad. I do.
Got a bridge to tell you.
Yeah, I do truly believe that we're not.
You can't be the only thing in this universe, right? At the end of the day, okay. People have seen things. People have recorded stuff. There's even a video floating about at the moment. Remember, not so long ago, I was talking to you about when Ian lent me his telescope. I was looking at the moon. I could see an object above the moon.
Yeah.
Well, someone's put out exactly the same video of what I saw, with something hovering above the moon, and you can see the silhouette of it. Like when you're looking at the moon now, if you look up at the sky, the front of it's white. Well, this was, you could see the shadow underneath it that it was casting on the moon, because it was, like you've got the curvature of the moon. Well, it was forward from the curvature, so you could actually see the shadow underneath it. I don't know what it was. I'm not going to pretend that I know what it was, but I saw it, and then someone posted a video on it on Facebook. And I was like, I saw exactly the same thing. And the good thing about Ian's telescope is you can actually zoom right in onto the craters, and you can actually see the indentations on the moon. You can see rock.
You've got a good enough telescope. You can see the landing sites. You can see on and it's that we've gone to the whole thing before, haven't we? Has man been to the moon? It's the whole. I believe.
See all the landing sites.
You can see all the landing sites. There's a lot of people that would have to keep it a secret.
India and China and Israel taking photos of
Russia.
They're not going to be in the fucking scam. If it was a scam.
At some point, I'm going to borrow Ian's telescope again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get some equipment so I can rig my phone up to it, or add my camera from my here to it, so I can actually zoom in and watch it through the computer screen. So I can actually see properly and zoom in, zoom out, do all the stuff. I want to actually have a proper look at it.
It's interesting.
Especially if I catch that thing hovering above the moon again.
Because this new telescope that they've got, what's it called? The James Webb? James Webb?
Yeah.
Now, the pictures that we're seeing, if I'm led to correct, they might not even be there now. Those stars might not be there now. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
you see, furthest they got back now is 13.2 billion.
13.2 billion light years away.
Yeah, it's taken that long to get the light.
Yeah. So basically what we're seeing might not even exist now.
No. Or in the same place. Most likely be moved. Yeah.
So we might not even exist.
No, we still exist.
No,
then if we don't exist, what the fuck are we doing sitting on here on YouTube talking shit?
No, I got that wrong. What was I trying to think of? He was trying to explain something that
you're absolutely right, because if they're looking at us, then maybe we don't exist because they're looking at us 13 billion years ago.
Years late. I don't know. It's how this NASA or guy, whatever it is, NASA guy or whoever was explaining the telescope. He said, "What you're seeing now, they might not exist now." He said, "We're getting the light back 13 point something billion years." You know, the telemetry. So it's pretty. It's
one of the panels is already damaged.
And
have you seen
mesmerizing these pictures? I could look at them for hours.
Have you seen the video of the UFO, the Tic Tac, that the Americans caught out at sea and they were following it in jets?
No.
Right, so there's a video floating about on the internet at the moment. Yeah, it was declassified not so long ago. You know, when the Americans released all this alien stuff that they've had archived for ages, and it's the only things that they've released. So basically, they released a video. I think it was 2 F-15 pilots, or it was a American airplane. And well, anyway, they've spotted these things on radar while the control tower have, or the ship or whatever, and they've sent them out to this location. They've followed this thing and they've seen it hit into the sea, come back out again, and they've seen it going across the water at some speed. They declared that it was moving at Mach 1, Mach 2, which is like 1,000, 2,000 miles an hour or whatever. And then they lose sight of it. It's gone. Now, they were saying it was traveling a lot faster than Mach 2. But, to me, it's like the FLIR system. All you see is the little tic-tac thing, and they're following it. And that's all you can see. You can't see no exhaust fumes. You can't see no cockpit or anything like that. It's just a solid object
with no heat coming off.
Well,
there's no heat signature off of it neither.
Yeah, because they use an anti-gravity engine.
But we couldn't, even if.
And when you use an anti-gravity engine, there's no distance. They could be hundreds of light years away and just get here instantly. You bend space and time.
But we wouldn't be able to reverse engineer their technology, even if we had it, because we don't have the materials.
Well, from what I understand, is it's the fuel that's the problem. Wherever they're from, they've got a stable element. We can't make it stable here.
Is that why we're using the Hadron Collider and shit
it's
like that?
It's element 115 on the periodic table.
What's it? Unpentium or something, isn't it?
Yeah. You can make it here without stable only last a minute.
I've heard what's his name talking about it. What's his name? The geezer that made out that he worked at S4. Oh, what the fuck's his name? I can't remember it. I told you about
Bob
it.
Bob Lazar.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
He took a load of people out into the desert, and he actually witnessed these crafts floating about. He took like 5 or 6 people, and then he got caught by the American military, and that basically made his career fall to pieces because he took people out there that shouldn't have been out there.
But have you noticed with Bob Lazar, everywhere the story that he's told is remained the same?
Yeah,
it's remained the same everywhere. It's the same story.
Changed.
He hasn't changed a thing.
I've watched loads of stuff on Bob Lazar. You know, some of it's pretty convincing, but then there's other stuff that he's bullshitted about, plain and simple.
What does everyone make of the whole Georgia Guidestones and all that? And you know, we can get into this subject. It is an interesting subject because Georgia Guidestone was written on there that we should keep a stable Earth thing of 500 million or 500 billion. I don't know.
I was showing Sue it earlier on because she didn't know what the Georgia Guidestones was, so I showed her. She's like, "What?" I goes, "Yeah, they were basically built by a Georgian granite company, and they were basically the person that endorsed them used a fake name to have them put up, but they paid for it. That must have cost hundreds of millions of pounds because granite's not cheap."
Somebody blew them up.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Somebody, you know,
Ted Turner.
Somebody destroyed them.
Who's Ted Turner?
He probably put them up.
Ted Turner.
Yeah, that's the rumor. Yeah, he used to own CNN.
Why would Ted Turner blow up the Georgia Guidestones?
No. He put them up.
He erected
them up.
He
erected them.
Oh, he put them up. Oh, I see.
That's the rumor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the rumor. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But somebody blew them up, didn't they?
No, one section. The English side.
Yeah, and then they took them down because.
But then they bulldozed them.
Yeah, someone went there and blew them up first of all, and then they decided they were too dangerous to keep up, so they ripped them all down.
Yeah.
I would just cordon the area off and leave them where they are, wouldn't you? And if they would have fell down, I would have just left it.
Yeah, it's an instant.
All knowledge of the Georgia Guidestones ever existed. Because who do we know that it wasn't some disgruntled person, you know, blowing them up? Or how do you know it wasn't the government that did it?
Exactly. You never do know, will you? But then you've got.
They just blew up. So surely they got footage of somebody coming up to it, planting a device or something.
I was going to say,
because they've got the CCTV of it blowing up.
Yeah.
They've also
haven't got the CCTV of somebody going up and doing it.
No, they have. They've got a CCTV camera
have they?
car being there and leaving. I've seen the video on it.
Okay, okay. I didn't know that.
Because let me get right, the Georgia Guidestones was like a tablet of how we should be somewhat under the New World Order. Am I right?
Yeah.
No.
Well, go on.
It's for after the disaster. It's to rebuild society. That's what it's for.
Yeah. Really?
Which is coming.
Yeah, what we've been telling you about for months and months.
Every 12,500 years. 2040, 2045.
So it's a cycle, yeah?
Yeah, every 12,500 years. Yeah, what happens is we go through the galactic plane. That's why the James Webb telescope's getting hit with more dust and rocks than they thought, because we're going through that. All the planets, if you have a look, have changed. All the atmospheres, all of them, all from Pluto all the way through, even Mars. And then the pressure goes on the sun, and the sun has a micronova.
And CERN is involved in that as well?
No. There's just a micronova goes off. The sun just goes, and it's out of shell. That hits the Earth. There's a poles flip. There's crust displacement. Almost like that movie, 2012. That's roughly what it's like. In fact, that's what it's based on.
So the sun is having, at the moment, the sun is very, very active.
Yeah. But every 12,500 years, it gets. The last time was the Younger Dryas event. Then.
Yeah.
And it has so much pressure, and it just blows. There's a micronova, not a supernova, obviously, a micronova.
Well, supernovas where it blows up in it.
And they found now, if you have a look, they found lots of these micronovas and different types of novas all through the galaxy.
Little solar flares going off during the heat wave over the last few days. There's a report of the sun was reacting over the last few days, like solar flares.
Yeah. Plus our magnetic field's down about 20%. It's dropping rapidly.
Do you guys know about a guy called Wages World?
No.
Okay, he's really he's on it as far as the sun's concerned. He's called Wages World. His real name is Mark Wages. So yeah, go and have a look at his stuff. Wages World, WAGES, Wages World. And,
Same with suspicious observers.
I was just going to mention that. Suspicious.
I've got his textbooks. They're really good.
Yeah. But yeah, he's cool. Wages World is really.
I think there's only 7 places in the planet that's safe when this happens.
I don't know. Yeah, are they all in America?
Well, because also the Earth jerks, and there's a big wall of water about 2 or 3 kilometers high, and it goes from east to west and just goes right around the planet.
I think the Ozarks are probably one of the most famous places to go to.
Southern France, northern Spain, Turkey, northeast Australia, where Jeff Bezos' space station thing is in wherever that is in America.
Yeah.
There's a couple other places.
Damn. Cardiff's not on the list.
No, I think well, because you're high up, the wave won't be so high here. I mean, it's still high, but maybe like Snowdon or somewhere like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Ish.
But then after that, also, the temperature drops rapidly. So if you're in the north, it's going to be fucking really cold.
Yeah, you're fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, generally, everybody's fucked. And also what happens because of crust displacement, Antarctica moves to where Australia is. They move. And that's why last time, if you look in Antarctica, that's why there's all those, they've found tropical stuff, because that was pre-last time, not this time, obviously, last time. And then when it happens again, 12.5 years, it shifts back. Apparently.
Looking at the chat, it says CERN is the Blunt Crusader says CERN is a corporation, not a machine.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Course.
And I only found out a couple of days ago that CERN is actually a rule unto itself, the same as the Vatican is.
Isn't it absurd?
Weird.
The machines are a hadron collider. That's all. They just smash atoms together, speed them up in a circle really fast.
CERN's the company, but the machine is called the Hadron Collider, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It hasn't got rules. It rules itself.
Yeah. It's standalone body, like the Vatican state,
like the Vatican. Yeah. So it's a state on its own, which is just totally suspicious.
What? It's no different to the City of London.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly the same. The city. People don't think the City of London is a state within. Is basically a principality, a state within a state.
Yeah.
That's why we have a separate police for the City of London. That's why the Queen's got to walk behind the Mayor of London when she enters the city. That's why she can't enter the city without the Mayor's permission.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, they got their own rules.
Elton John lives in Dover. Okay.
And guys, I'm just answering a message on my phone.
Sorry, I'm just looking at chat, guys. Where's Indy gone?
He went to get some food.
Did he say he was getting some food? Was he? I'll be finishing in a minute anyway. I'll be going 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, I might jump off anyway. It's been a good night. Thanks for that, everybody.
An end anyway.
Have fun. Good night.
Thank you, Beamer.
As well.
Cheers, Boomers.
Bye-bye.
I say
Good to meet you.
in the chat. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, I've got hiccups now.
On, dude, that's always a pleasure. It's good to chat about things.
Thanks for having me on, mate. And I got hiccups. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime. I got to change
Good
the
to
camera.
see. Good to see chat.
I can see it now.
You
So,
finished
yeah.
that?
It's been 3 hours of good conversation, chatting about anything and everything. You just gotta not believe everything you're told. Question things, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Okay.
thanks for jumping on, dude. I should let you get off because you're hiccuping like a good one.
Take care, Tyrant.
See you later, mate. Thanks for jumping on.
Love you, man. Take care.
Bye. No, it's just me. Oh, I hate being on camera. I really, really do. So, thank you, everybody, for joining me this evening. Two Boomers, Indy, Baytown, and everyone else in the chat. My moderators, Susie, Bianca, that's been around, Swift and Bold. Thank you. And everybody else, Ian, thanks for jumping on, MPO, Anonic. Thanks for all the donations from Queenie and Queen, somebody else, I can't remember. Oh, it's so bad of me, but thank you for the donations. You don't have to, But until the next time, let me just bring another screen on. Do appreciate you all coming on. Music to yeah.
There will be a time when you and me finally can talk. If you speak now, your words will only tear us apart. I pray you'll find a way to mend your broken heart. Yeah, you can show me a new place to start. And you decide if you want to play pretend. And you decide if you want to see me again. 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 There are some thoughts I can't avoid. I try to fight them all.
I remember that like that on
So I won't speak right now, 'cause words will tear us apart.